pre-live checklist correct, but why do I have no image? Oh!
Oh, you just can't leave the lens cap on when you want people to see your face. But I think the bigger question is, which camera do I look at? And how many cameras do I need? Do I need to get 3 more angles? I don't even know. I'm not even ready for this entire show. I better end this right now.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so what we didn't do was unmute our sound. Okay.
So let's start over. Welcome.
So let's start over.
T.
It was a test because some people tune into Thursday Night Live and they don't engage. And so we're like, hey, are you guys really listening? Remember I told you this?
You did.
I said tonight I'm going to mute the audio so that it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was saying was tricks, and we were spelling it. TR. That's so. It's not even funny anymore.
The joke's lost. It was good
because,
the first time.
Yeah. Without you guys, like we've said it before, we don't have a show. And literally, we would be sitting here with our microphones muted, and we wouldn't have a show.
Don't even know.
So this is what Schwend Diesel apparently. If you want to get to that status in your tying, is Red Bulls and tricks. And so some point in the show, I've got a giant mug here like Schwend does, and I'm going to mix them together and give it a try. And but I'm not going to get on the Vice app. So you might have to try this because the trick, actually, you know what Tim's going to try? Tonight he has a ride home, folks, and we know what that means.
We know that you guys do not want to
we know that
the show.
that at 200 shares there will be What are you drinking right now, anyways?
Well, actually,
Oh,
what,
yeah.
what I was really,
What he was
I was
drinking
sipping
was.
some wine out of this because let's see if we can get it to grab.
Oh, look at that new sticker
that
for
sticker.
sale on the website www.flyfishingbover.com/something stickers.
But wait, there's more. What
Oh,
I'm actually drinking tonight.
but what was in that cup?
Oh, some wine. Some strong juice. as I
Some
like to say.
wine, some fermented grapes. So welcome to Thursday Night Live, Season 3, Episode 10.
10. Jeez, halfway.
10.
We're halfway through.
10 plus 0 and double 0 gives us roughly 12. And so after tonight, there will be only 10 left. Is that how that works?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Add the 2, carry the 5,
I think it's pretty
10.
simple. When there's 20
11.
episodes,
So
you
there's
just split
11
it.
including tonight. And, okay. Well, what's most important and more important than us is drinking some beer.
Yes,
And
that is true.
why are you not wearing your earphones?
I am.
Oh,
Right here.
look at that.
You just can't see them.
Look at that, folks. We've upgraded the monitoring system. And my name's Dana Lattery, and I'm drinking what we call Weizenbach, and it's by far. I don't know
By
what
far
kind
what?
of a beer it is. Like,
It's fruity. What does it say on it?
don't say it. Don't tell everyone I'm
It's,
drinking
I think
fruity
it
beer.
says Dark,
It's-
fruity,
okay.
and warm.
Let's put an end to this show because
And he's
Tim
making fun of my wine.
Tim just gave away my secrets here. My fruity beer. Looks like
yes.
Jennifer Lyle is in the house, and Colin English is here. And Laura. We know Laura is not Laura, but Laura's husband, which is
Yes.
a common trend here on Thursday Night Live.
That it is.
Cam, heart palpitations and cavities. So Cam's got a really cool story that we're going to share tonight at the end of the show when we carry and we talk about, and Carrie was, oh, look, Sven's here. He's like, I'm not
Oh,
going to be
man.
there. And
It's pro status.
yeah,
You gotta ship us some fruity pebbles.
yeah, we
just
can't
find
do
those
fruity
here.
pebbles because the weird laws in Canada state that you cannot use a cartoon character from an actual cartoon to sell food.
Apparently. Yeah.
Because apparently once the kids see the Flintstones eating Fruity Pebbles, they will all eat Fruity Pebbles. So Richard McCarthy, what's up? Grizz99 can't find you on Facebook. But if you're on YouTube, then that is just as
You don't
awesome
need us
too.
on
That
Facebook,
is just
yeah.
as awesome. So yeah, if you didn't get your bingo cards, get your bingo cards in the description. Wherever the description is. I will, when Tim
Up
gets
here.
tying some flies, I will definitely get that link somewhere into the Facebook page and the YouTube page so that you guys can go download. And I know the bingo card says episode 8 because I made it for 8, and then I realized, hey, I can keep these bingo cards going. And so we're definitely going to get to the bingo for some giveaways today. And what I do believe, this just in on the text messages. Do you see what I'm doing there? I'm just holding up a sticker that's for sale at www.flyfishingbover.com.
Oh my goodness. We
Okay,
gotta get him twirling a sign here.
so our friends at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop
yes.
said, hey, would you mind letting all of the Thursday Night Live folks, the fine folks tuning in tonight, that we are going to do free shipping all night for anyone who uses the promo code, all caps, TNL. So if you go to RockyMountainFlyShop.net, order everything in the store, and they will ship it to you for free.
That's epic.
How much is free, Tim?
Free means no cost.
No
at all.
cost to you. All that cost gets eaten by the Rocky Mountain Fly Shop folks.
That's huge. Thanks, guys.
And he said he'll set it up to run until midnight. So probably by the time we're done tying the first fly, it'll run out at the rate that we're going. And like we always say, we're not perfect. We're far from it. Hence why we started the show with no audio. So Thursday Night Live. It's Thursday and we're live, and it's a fly tying show-ish. But let's get to the people, and then I'm going to let you tell the people, the new people and the old people, what Thursday Night Live is. Merkley said, how many beers have you had? Well, this is the first one.
Is it?
Second. You got to see, these things are 8% alcohol,
They're thick.
and they're about 14 liters.
They're also fruity, warm,
Dark, fruity,
and
and
warm.
warm. What's
I
wrong?
don't see any of those
I
words
don't-
on my beer.
Yeah,
don't know.
because I saw you fill that up with water before the show.
I'm trying to prepare in case
That
I
you
get
have,
200
he
shares.
has. You guys, you tell me if you want Tim to chug a beer. We're gonna make that happen at 200 shares, and I will grab the beer out of the cooler and give it
Oh,
to him.
man.
That way, we know it's not his water beer can. Turn it down. We don't. Jen Lyles is
Jen,
cranky
come
here,
on.
so.
Shaylin, I love that comment. What's up, family?
What's up, family? The TNL family.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, going through the comments here and just seeing chug, 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 shotgun a beer. Carl Long puked. I'm not sure what it is. You'll be awake until 3 a.m. That's from the Red Bull, I'm assuming.
I'm assuming.
Breakfast of Champion, beer and cornflakes. Even better, Red Bull and cornflakes. That got Sven through the day.
Yep.
And I know that I think he's at his son's baseball or basketball or something, and he couldn't tune in until 7:30. So I don't even know if this is really him that's here.
Maybe it's his wife, Avatar.
Yep,
He's
somebody
in-
is
he's in
borrowing Bailu Quinn Sunias with Drift
up,
Out West
Quinn?
Fly Fishing, and we've got some gear, probably some stickers later. We're gonna throw in part of the giveaway. There's no Fruity Pebbles in Canada. William, welcome to the show. Troy Langelar, that's welcome Troy Langelar, one of our guides, and also the owner of West River Fly Shop, located in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. Jeff Hefner, good Thursday evening from Missouri. Welcome, Jeff. Michelle, what's happening? Blake Teague, what's up, brother? Barry, got the beer from BRB Goat Locker. Oh, is that the Pilsner? I think that was
I think that
the
is.
the Pilsner that he picked up.
Nice.
I wasn't a fan. I have to have a drink. Okay, let's do this. Tim, you go tell people what Thursday Night Live was all about, and let me have a drink.
Okay, so
And I'm
Thursday
gonna-
Night Live.
Do you guys like ASMR? I'm gonna.
Nice. So what is Thursday Night Live? Well, guys, I guess that depends on a few things, but what it is to us, we'll tell you in the beginning. We were really focused on bringing our local community together. That's how it all started. We're in our third season now. Halfway through it, it's kind of crazy to believe that this is the point we're at. We always used to meet in a brewery. We would tie flies and drink some beer and try to bring the local Calgary fly fishing, fly tying community together. And obviously with the things that happened with COVID, things have changed. So what was changed for what I will say is better? It sucks that we're not able to meet with you guys. For our Calgary crew, that's extremely distracting.
Well, just so they know, I'm actually drinking
Oh,
it.
good.
Unlike
good,
you.
Yeah.
Unlike you.
I'm trying to talk, jeez.
I can get you a straw.
So, what's been great about it though
If you
is
need help, just
is
tap
our,
me in.
well, if you leave me alone, I could actually talk.
It's okay.
Okay. So, anyways, what has made this, in my mind, so extraordinary is we'll call it reach, our community, our people. It's just so much. It's on a larger scale. You know, once we first lockdown last year, we were forced into coming into a studio where we've been ever since. If you were in the beginning with us, you know how the show has changed. This is a much more interactive show for all of you. This season, we had some lofty goals, which we put in motion. Scared the crap out of us, but we did it. We put out 80 full seasons of material for sale. We sold them. They went really fast, which is an amazing thanks to you guys. And what were in those kits? That's what I'm tying
That's a
out
good question, Tim. Wonder if I got a sound effect for that.
Do you?
You don't see that every day.
Not every day. So this is what we did. We took 20 episodes. We individually packed them. Each fly inside there is also individually packed into smaller bags. We do 2 flies a night. Now what's in this overall package? So like I said, 2 flies, but we've already pre-tied each of those flies once for you.
2 patterns.
2 patterns, all right? And we've already tied each one of those once for you, and then we've given you enough material, roughly, depending on how you tie, to tie each of them 2 more times. So basically a total of 6 flies a night, which is pretty awesome. Our goals are, again, lofty for next year. We hope to sell even more packages, and the amount of work that I'm sure that'll be for all of us is overwhelming, but we're excited because what we didn't really expect was the demand, and it means that you guys are excited about what's going on. You want to be involved in this. The community that's come around TNL has been absolutely spectacular. It's fun when we get to look up at the comments and not only see you interacting with us, but with each other, because that means that the community is a community. So TNL,
Family.
it's a family.
I'm coming back in.
It's come full circle to where we are now. So we are still in the studio. We've been able to bring this to you this year in a I think a lot more interactive way, which has been pretty spectacular. So that's where we bring this tonight. We're, again, just like every other night, we're going to do 2 patterns. And
yeah, 2 patterns. And
if you don't have your packages, don't worry. If you've got some tying materials around, the patterns tonight are fairly simple as far as materials are concerned. And I'll be able to, I'll tell you the materials ahead of time so that you can have a little bit of time to prepare for each fly. Which is actually probably a good segue I'll do real quick is...
You segue that.
Our first fly that I'm going to be tying tonight is going to be, it's called the Manhattan Midge. You can see it in my vise here. Now, what are we using for this? In our packages, we gave you a little bit of black dubbing, which is not necessary if you already have black thread. We just wanted to make sure that we cover our bases if you didn't. I'm going to tie it both ways tonight real quick for you because it doesn't take a lot of time. So if you got some black thread, I'm using UTC 70 for this first fly. And then for the next fly, I'm going to use a combination of 2 different threads, which is going to be a UTC 140 in a brown color most likely, and then I'm going to use a GSP 200 because we're going to build a deer hair head, which is always exciting because it's the possibility that Tim's going to crap the bed and the fly will pull apart. So start placing your bets now.
So the question is U.S. shipping. I don't for sure have the answer about the Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. But I will figure that out, and maybe because Colin and Cody and all the fine folks at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop are in the comments, that they can let us know if that's U.S. shipping.
Yeah.
But if it is, bada bing, bada boom. And I feel like they got their U.S. shipping set up. So
yeah. What else is sitting over at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop that's for sale?
Well, folks. This is a good segue to the first set of thank yous that we must give to the sponsors. And all of these items, ironically, can be found at Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. So give us 1 sec. We'll be right back and freshen up your beer. What thread should they put on first?
Were you even listening to me?
Yep. Okay. So just
let's go with that
I don't
UTC
ever
70
listen.
in black. You got it.
It's like a bad wife. I don't have a wife, but hang on.
There are a lot of great rotary vices on the market, but only the Norvise spins the hook. It's for this reason that it's been said the Norvise is the most innovative fly tying system on the market.
We all deserve the right to stay organized, no matter what or where your space is. Your Flykia table will turn any space into a well-organized fly tying realm. Own your domain.
We are muted again, so it's a good thing I caught that because I was paying attention.
Doing such a great job.
So questions that are popping up, and I'm trying to keep up with all of them. The good thing about the questions that you guys ask, if we don't get to them, ask them again because it's just they're coming in the comment section here. I did post the link for the bingo cards. How do the bingo cards work? If it wasn't already answered, is you just click on that link and enter your email, and all that is they just send it to your email. And then you get a bingo card and you'll see it shows up, and it's got like 25 names of flies. And then what we're going to do kind of at the halfway point is show it has a auto generator or something, and then it picks names, and then we go for 4 corners. And the first one to get those 4 corners is the winner of the giveaway. So we just thought it's a very interactive way for you guys to have a little more fun with it. And every time I'm sitting here trying to pick a number between 1 and a million. So it's just kind of how we're doing it with the bingo cards. So they're free. They don't cost a thing. Just jump on, go pick up a bingo card through that link, and I'll share it a few more times, and then you'll have time to get them. And then when we tell you we're going to play bingo, we'll also probably mention the link again so that you have time to go get the bingo cards. There's 200 cards. If you have a card from the previous episodes, they are still valid. So you can still use them, and we will be calling off of those. And I think we're going to have to redo the cards this week. I think they expire. So, but just hold tight. How's the camera looking?
Looks pretty good to me.
No notifications on there, because I know why you guys all came here tonight, and it wasn't for me, and it wasn't for Tim, and it wasn't for the fish food that we're about to make, but it was simply, oh yeah, oh, the good old baking camp, folks. Tonight, that does not come from my kitchen, because I was busy making the intro today.
Yeah.
So I went down to the local bake shop in town called Cocoa Tree Bake Shop, and I picked up one of these fine strawberry whipped cream Ooh Daddy croissants. So just something to stare about before Tim jumps in there. And if he does a good job, folks, I do allow Tim to eat those after.
I will. And I will eat it regardless of how well these flies go.
Yes. Okay. Trying to catch up here. The bingo cards, we got that figured out. Oh, Bailu got his new Norvice auto bobbins today, and so he is spooling 14 of them. So that's awesome. The yeah, you get kicked out of groups because people don't want you to share fly tying in fly tying groups. It happens to us
The perfect thing about that, though, is that if you share them and they kick you out, they're probably not groups you want to be part of.
Yeah, I've been kicked out lots. It is what it is, folks. If you don't feel comfortable sharing, you do not have to share. But if you want to make Tim feel uncomfortable and chug a beer, and I want you to do that, then definitely I want beer and Oreos winning combo. Yeah, that is a fact.
Oh, man. I would eat some Oreos.
Okay.
Looks like Ben was in the house as well.
Yes, everybody is trying to catch up. And I'm just staring at these comments over there. That's why I'm looking over there.
We have this gaze. We're not seizing. We're actually just looking at the comments.
Yeah, we haven't froze that we know of. So tonight we're going to tie the Manhattan Midge and the Zoo Cougar, a beautiful streamer that is very effective. What we did realize is that the deer hair, again, is something we're trying to perfect on the packing. And yeah, maybe we should have added more.
Yeah, it's
just feedback, guys. Let us know. Definitely. Some people will go through deer hair a lot more than other people. So, but just kind of let us know what's happening with the deer hair. Okay. For us newbies that just started tuning in this season, maybe you could tell us how you guys know each other, Tim and Dana. Yeah. So we met on Grindr.
Oh yeah, that's not fair because
Is your wife watching?
6'2" and I'm 5'8", and everybody knows my role.
Well,
so it wasn't Grindr.
Yes, it wasn't.
How did we meet? What was the very first time we ever met?
You weren't the wide receiver on my football team.
Definitely was.
Sometimes things get out of hand here, folks, and we
will come around.
We do tie flies, but yeah. How did we meet? So, basically, the first year when you took my guide school.
Yeah, the very first time.
And
how long ago now? 4 years?
4 years-ish, yeah, something like that.
Seems crazy.
Yeah, and then, those people you just instantly connect with, and there's a whole group of the guys that we guide with that are very like-minded and similar. And usually when we get to go to the brewery and hang out, we get to stay in touch more. So this year's been kind of hard for that. But yes, we get to hang out here with you guys virtually. I don't know. Is there more stories? Like, basically, Ren was like one. Went to the James River.
Yeah.
I showed her how to catch fish because Dad never did.
This is the
and
the
then
problem.
she
the
thought
very
I
first
was
time
the.
that we had this experience. I mean, he's
Shit.
saying fish.
This
They were
experience-
whitefish,
this
let's be
experience.
honest. But this experience,
Fishing experience.
and it just has continued. And
Yeah.
what he doesn't realize is I allow him to catch fish first so that she
Yeah.
feels excited to have him there.
Oh yeah, we could bring Ren in as a guest one
No,
night
no, no, no.
probably,
That-
and
yeah,
just
we-
ask her the truth. We could
Dana
say,
catches, but if Dana gets the day warmed up, then Dad normally comes in with a couple.
Give
good
me a
ones.
break.
yeah, well, it's true. We just have fun fishing, and then we started. Well, I started Thursday Night Live a year before we actually started Thursday Night Live. And then I was like, Tim, you tie flies, and I can't do it all, and I don't want to tie flies on this platform, so you it.
You it.
You it. So, whose birthday? Wyatt. Wyatt. Whose birthday? Who said happy birthday, Wyatt? Because you know what happens when it's a birthday here on Thursday Night Live. Yeah, I'm so far behind on the comments that a TNL rendezvous post-COVID. That's a fact.
Oh,
Literally, that's a fact. And it doesn't have to be a guided thing. It has to be a hanging out thing wherever that is. But that's definitely something we need to put into place. So I asked whose birthday. I'm going to miss the comment again, but I don't want to miss.
What's up, Lee?
Is Lee in here?
Yeah, he's in there.
Oh, counts.
Yeah,
Count
he counts.
Dracula.
Count Dracula.
Lee
yeah.
can't spell. Dropped out in grade 4. Great Falls, Montana.
Yeah. Love you, buddy. Miss you.
Okay, so what? So Chaz released a film that he did this over the last year about a story of his son Nolan and the family journey. And I'm having a tough time loading it in here, Chaz, and just like you did last Sunday. But I think what we need to do, folks, is we need to watch it. So I think around halftime, we're gonna try to get it in here. It might look a little unorthodox how I do it, but I'm gonna try my best to get it in there so that we can watch it. And if I can't load it because I've been having troubles with that, we will definitely play it next week for you guys. So that's still on the docket. And Trevor Montgomery, I listened to the episode of Fly Fish and Save Lives. You're on last night, and man, you are my hero. I hope he's talking about Chaz. It had me moved to a point my wife was asking if I was okay. Your story's inspired, and all I could say is thank you for letting us in on your journey. So I believe you're talking about Chaz, and that is, yes. Chaz, you've brought the onions to all the folks who have listened. Okay, so the shipping to the USA is still, they're working on it. Lee, I can't tie anything except worms. And what's the link? I sent the link. Okay, you can use the same card if in the. All right. Okay, folks, let's get into the fly tying because we know that is why Lee's here.
No worms, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah. So I will think of the rest of the things that we need to talk about for now. Timothy Hepworth, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is your Manhattan Midge. This is a cool fly, guys. Midges. Ooh, midges. They are bittersweet. They're tiny, but they're easy to tie for the most part. They're fairly easy to fish. Most of the time, we're going to be nymphing these in some fashion or another. And this one's no exception. This is a great one. So I'm going to take you through this pattern. It's very, very simple. It's basically a play off of it's a standard zebra midge. We're going to use a copper wire instead of silver tonight. And we're also adding, as you can see, this bit of an emerging wing butt that you can see coming out. So how could we fish this? There's a few different ways. You could fish it shallower nymphing, so it's closer to the surface with the idea that it's emerging to the surface, as well as you could fish it deep. You can just fish it like you would any other midge. So, but this one is a very, very, very effective fly. I really enjoy this one. It has a lot of qualities that are very similar to other midges, but the kind of the standout factor that's different is that we're putting this emerging wing butts on the top, okay? And it's the materials are again very accessible and very simple to use. So I'm going to tie this tonight in a size 18. So don't be scared by the size. That looks big in the camera, but I assure you that it is not. And what we're going to do is, if in your package, we tie this with a clear bead. So I have a clear bead in my fingers here, which is also probably impossible to see because it's very small. We want to feed that onto our hook to start, and then we're going to get our hook started in our vise. So there may be a bit of a variety of hooks that you have in your packs. And now there is some different styles of hooks. Now I'm going to put one in the vise here quick to show you versus a different one. So you could tie this on more of a nymph sprout, dry fly even style hook that's a lot more, we'll say flat in appearance. So something more like that. It's not very straight in there, sorry.
It's funny how I'm just reading the comments about how we met on Grindr.
Is this some good ones?
Yeah.
Well, let's just say this. There's been a few times that we've been out in public with my daughter Ren and have had some very interesting looks, and
I'm still holding tight to my manly figure in our relationship.
Yeah, you are. It's fun. So
it's fun. It's fantastic.
It's always fantastic. Very enthusiastic, excited people about our relationship, so that's good. You may have this hook in your tying kit. I think for the most part we did one that looks just like this, as well as one that I'm going to start on tonight that looks like this. I prefer this style of hook a little bit because it has more of a true appearance of a midge, because it's more of a scud style hook, has a curve in it, and what it's really going to do is it just gives it a little bit different appearance, because most of the time if you were to see a midge larva or a midge nymph, they're often curled up a bit. So this gives that kind of appearance that that's what's happening. So if you have this one, let's start with that one. I think that's going to be a good one to start with. What I'm using for thread tonight, I'm using a UTC 70.
Victor Edmund lost a bead already.
Lost a bead.
Beads and hooks, folks. You're gonna lose them all.
It's tough. These smaller flies are tough. As you can see, little punchline for our Norvices. Why I really like this system is that we have a little bit of diversity when it comes to jaws. So this is literally what they call the Midge Jaws. So perfect for tying midges or other small dry flies or small nymphs. It gives me a fine point jaw that I can really get access into the bend of the hook, which we're gonna wanna do tonight, okay?
Remember folks, you just have to type in SOS. I know those keys are on the opposite side of the keyboard, but SOS stops the tying and we take a break for you to catch up. And probably odds are, is anybody putting odds on Cam breaking first?
Yeah, if you don't, you should.
You'll lose.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're, in your packages, we provided you with a whole bunch of black dubbing. Now, I'm not gonna use it. The only reason we would use this is if we don't have black thread, so we put that in there kind of preemptively. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a second Manhattan midge just after I do this one, and I'm going to show you how we could use this if we just didn't have the appropriate thread, and we're just going to put a tiny wisp of this on our thread to make it look black, okay? So I'll bust out this one. I'm going to go slow, methodical, and the next one I'll go pretty quick so you can see the difference, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my thread right behind the bead. I'm going to get a few thread wraps down before I either break or cut off that tag end. And now what I want to do is I am going to create a little bit of bulk with this thread. But to start with, I'm going to actually go into my kit, which should have some wire in it as well. So I'm going to grab that. It's going to open up my kit here. It's got it's going to have some copper wire if you have our kits. If you don't have our kits, just go grab probably a size extra small or small ultra wire is what we're going to be using tonight. Sorry, I just got to get into this package here. So always be very careful when you're opening the packages that we've packed for you, because they're just, to be completely honest, there's no real good way to put everything into a package, and often it can kind of go everywhere, and there's always hooks that are probably in the bottom of the package itself. So just be careful when you go in there, because you don't want to lose any of those materials. So this is size extra small, and the color is going to be copper on this one. You could easily use silver or substitute it with pretty much anything. What this wire does is it creates an appearance of segmentation on the fly. So taught you this trick before, but I'm going to take my bobbin for me because I'm tying on a left-handed vise. I'm going to do a clockwise spin If you're tying right-handed, do a counterclockwise spin, and that's going to cause the thread to jump rearward and grab the material that you hope to fix onto the hook. Now I'm going to just take some thread wraps, binding that down onto the top of the hook, deep into the bend, okay? I want to get basically right down until I'm onto the jaws of my vise, and I'm going to bring it back up. Now this is a bit of an appearance to your eye. You're going to decide how much you want to build the bulk of this fly as far as the body's concerned. So for me, what I like to do is when I put in that wire, I'm laying a nice thread base as I go back. I'm going to build a thread base back to the bead. I'm going to go back down the hook shake one more time. So for me, I just like to go down and up twice, and nice close touching wraps. And what that does is it just creates an even underbody for that wire to sit on, and it creates just enough bulk to have the appearance of this midge. Now midges are tiny. We know this. That's why we're tying in a size 18. You could literally tie these all the way to a size 24, probably 26. I'm not going to do that because it seems silly to me.
Because we're not in Colorado.
Yeah, it would just that our tail water doesn't require it. So we're going to go with an 18 today, and even this is pretty small. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a little half hitch in just to secure my work and get my bobbin out of the way while I wind my thread up. So I'm going to take this wire. I'm going to use the rotary function on my vise because I have it. And I'm going to just do some nice open spiral, evenly spaced wire wraps as I go up the hook. And what this is doing, like I said before, is this is just creating that segmentation appearance in the fly. Now I'm going to take this all the way up to behind the bead. Okay? It's going to be a good place to cut it off. Man, that looks really good in there, doesn't it? A nice close-up.
Yeah.
That camera is.
That's really good. You look, Tim, your fingers look good.
And my fingers look good?
We're going to try to get him a manicure today, but Trout Maharishi has not sent in a manicure donation.
Yeah,
we should set that up.
It's crazy. I mean,
know.
you know how hard it was to chew all these nails today for you guys? You got to be more considerate.
Helped.
I helped. It's not grinder, it's muncher.
Muncher. I got him to stick it in this croissant.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Hey, let's chew your fingers off fingers."
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do.
We're so zoomed in on that, you can't even see your
I know,
fingers.
it's like,
They don't even
look at
show.
the fingers.
Look.
This is the way to make my fingers look good. You just got to zoom in on everything.
It's like, ooh.
You don't see that every day.
Oh man! See, the fun thing for this for me is I'm now monitoring the audio, so I can actually hear when he does
you
all
know
these.
what you want.
Yeah, there it is.
Favorite air horn
I love the
ever.
air horn. So good. Okay, guys.
Oh, SOS Roman. Sorry, I'm just catching up on these.
But then he says, "Just kidding." He's full of it.
Oh,
Roman, come on now. Come on.
Roman Quintana.
We all know where he's from, and that is
Montana.
Montana. Tell me, is there anyone who lives in Montana who hasn't watched
Yellowstone? Is anyone
For
in
real.
this world who hasn't watched
I don't
Yellowstone?
know. It's too good.
Yellowstone on Amazon Prime. www.amazon Prime.
Oh man. So in your kit, guys,
This is an 18 hook, if I missed.
size 18, yeah. We gave you 2 strands of crystal flash. Now what I want you to do is I want you to double them over, or double that single strand over, and kind of align the tips. And I'm gonna come in here with my scissors. So I know it's hard to see, but
See, Trout, even before I said that, I'm just reading the comments, he said we need to start a GoFundMe for your manicures. Great minds think
Great
alike, my
minds.
friend.
So I've trimmed that so that my single strand of flash here is now 2 strands, and I'm gonna double it over when I put it on. So I'm gonna have a total of 4 strands of this crystal flash, and this is gonna act as our underwing. It's gonna give the wing material that we're using, which is some Antron yarn, it's gonna give it a little bit of pop, and it's gonna cause this material to look pretty flashy.
So the question is about the bead, tungsten or brass. Yes, but these glass beads look like the air bubble shuck that.
Yep.
So it's not a weight issue. It's more of an anatomical presence.
Totally. And let's be honest,
The
guys.
gas bubble.
This could be a tungsten bead. This thing isn't sinking fast. It's a tiny fly. Yes, it would help, but likely I'm fishing this behind a heavier fly, or maybe in front, depending on how you like to nymph. And that's what's dragging it down. This fly is light, but yeah, that clear bead up at the front is just like Dana said. It's trying to imitate an air bubble. Okay.
Ken, half hitch for a reason. And he
yes.
broke. Okay, just hold tight. We're all here. We got some SOSs. Some I don't even know if they're jokes. We're gonna. But what I do know is that Laura Martin is Wyatt is the 11-year-old
nice.
son
Happy birthday, Wyatt.
that is watching with us, and
That's
I
awesome, buddy.
believe that something goes like this.
I heard today
What's up, Wyatt?
was your
What's up, buddy?
birthday.
It is because I don't want to forget because birthdays
So
are
let me
super
say
important. So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
happy 11.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Hey, hey, it's your birthday.
It's your birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh yeah. Happy birthday, Wyatt.
Happy,
I just love the song too.
hey, hey, it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Pretty special that you're sharing your night with us. So thank you
Yes.
for that.
All right.
Okay. So guys, I've doubled over that strand. Gonna have a total of 4 pieces. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here behind the bead. I'm gonna place that material across. I'm gonna gather it, cinch down on it. Once I've done 2 wraps, I'm gonna be able to pull up both of those together, and I'm just gonna be able to have a little bit more control over them. Now I'm gonna take a couple of thread wraps back because we still have a couple materials to put in. I wanna go about a bead width length behind the bead is what I'm going to wrap down on, about to there, and I'm going to leave it. We're going to leave those full length until we come in to trim everything else, okay? Next material that we have, we are going to place the rest of our, we'll call it a wing, in. So I've got this white Antron yarn. Now what I'm going to do is I don't want it to be super, super thick, so I'm going to pull it apart a couple times. I basically split it once, split it twice. So I've got 1/4 of a full strand is what I'm working with here. And I'm going to double that over.
Rowan said Yellowstone is the story of his life, except he installs fireplaces and doesn't ride a horse.
So it's
long as
very
it-
similar.
As long as you know where the train station is.
Yeah, the train station. Somewhere near Wyoming, from what I remember.
Yes, over the border.
Over the border. Okay, so I basically, out of that entire strand of Antron we gave you, I've cut this down to 1/4 of the width because I'm going to double this over, okay? Now I'm going to repeat the same process I did with that crystal flash. I'm going to go back to just behind the bead.
Did you
place it
cut the
down.
flash in half, Alana's?
Yes, I did. I cut that.
Alana's back.
Alana, what's up?
Alana.
Good to see that you're here. I did cut the flash in half, so I had a total of 4 strands because I doubled it over on my thread, and so I got 4 strands going out the back underneath this wing material, okay? Now I'm gonna grab that wing and I'm gonna pull it rearward, and I'm gonna put a couple thread wraps down onto it, still leaving that little bit of space behind the bead because I'm gonna put in some peacock curl here in just a moment, okay? So now this looks like so, right? Pretty simple still. We're only gonna need 1 strand of peacock curl. Now remember, we love-hate relationship with this stuff. It's very brittle, but it is also, there's nothing that really can replace a peacock curl when it comes to a lot of the things it does. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna break off the tip of it because the tip is always quite brittle. Once we get that out of the way, I'm gonna come in here. The kind of the fun thing with tying materials is you can over-exaggerate. You can leave a whole bunch out front. I can take a single wrap over top and then I can pull it so that it slides back into where I want it to be. So kind of just, again, repeating that. It doesn't really matter what we put in when we're tying in materials, but we can over-exaggerate. We don't have to put it right in this perfect spot, and we can pull it back. If we've only put 1 wrap down, we'll put a couple more to secure it in place. Then I'll bring my thread up to right behind the bead. I'm gonna do a half hitch to save my work because we all know that we've been typing in Word 2013 and forgot to hit save, and you lose all your work. So let's not do that. I'm now just going to wrap this peacock curl forward, just kind of creating a little bit of a bulbous thorax, we'll call it.
You weren't even born in 2013. Where did you get that?
2013? You don't remember? It's like the worst
Oh,
year of
I
Microsoft
yeah.
Word. Like Microsoft Word in 2013.
Microsoft Word ended in 2013.
It was terrible. It's terrible.
Look at that. You're almost done.
I know.
This is
It's a quick fly.
fantastic.
So that is basically all we're putting in for material. So I'm going to come in and first trim out this peacock curl.
I would just leave it like that and fish it as a streamer.
Oh yeah, why not? Yeah, it could work. Could
Yeah,
work.
I think so.
They might get a few short strikes, but
It's worth a try. It's like the old Dana's leech that the old Jen Lyle there just doesn't like because the marabou's too long.
He just gets lots of nibbles though. Nibbly.
They're nibbling.
So all I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna come in now and I'm gonna whip finish this fly. Okay, so I'm gonna come in. Again, we'll do a quick description of what that looks like. I'm coming in with my hook side. I'm gonna stab the hook onto it. I'm gonna wrap around the butt of my whip finish tool. Naturally, it's gonna wanna rotate, and now I'm gonna come vertical so that I make a 4.
Number 4.
Once I have my number 4, I get to control this string here, which is in my hand and my bobbin. I'm gonna bring that down to the bead. And now I can just naturally, with your whip finish tool, it can wrap. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. Tip the butt in, release the thread, pull the hook forward, slide it off. Like so.
Super fantastic.
Good stuff. I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna trim out my thread. If you feel more comfortable, go ahead and do a second one. Okay, there's nothing wrong with doing a couple whip finishes. I'm not gonna put any UV resin on this because I don't like what it does to my Peacock Curl, but likely this is not gonna go anywhere. Okay, but there's no wrong answer here. If you want to touch it with a little bit of resin or some Sally Hansen or something, go ahead. Now, obviously, I'm not going to leave all this extra stuff out here. How I do a measurement as far as where I'm going to cut this, and again, why I like this hook is because I basically this style of hook, I'm going to run my scissors right up the back of the bend. Okay, I'm going to brace them on that and pull the materials down to my hook. So I've come in with my scissors right here, placed it against the back end of the hook, slid it up till I get to the curve, lift up all those fibers, lay them on my scissors, and cut. Just like so.
Just like that.
And that is our Manhattan Midge. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Dana say a few things, and we're going to come probably back to a camera of his as well, but I'm going to put another fly in, another hook, and I'm going to repeat this fly, and I'm just going to show you how I would do it with dubbing, okay? And it might make it look a little bit beefier, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead.
As you're doing that, what we're going to do here is come back to me and my camera and say, hey, how's it going? So somebody had mentioned that the sound had gone out. If it does go out, check your earphones or your AirPods or your device. And if it goes out for everybody, make sure you let us know, because sometimes when you're live streaming, things happen. So wait, this just in, folks. Hold tight. Benoit Farsi from the eastern side of the Canadian country, also with shore.fishing, said, I just heard a rumor that there is a giant package heading out towards us, the studio, for a big giveaway by Shore. I added some words like big and us, and we're fantastic. Basically, Shore Fishing is sending out a package with a bunch of giveaways for you guys. And they're coming from the Rocky Mountain Fly Shop and Shore, as they've teamed up to do more giveaways, as if Rocky Mountain Fly Shop hadn't already gone above and beyond to do the amount of giveaways that they've been doing all year. Shore teamed up with them to give more stuff to you guys. And just like that, Canada Post is not... Man, what a story I had at Canada Post. Did I tell you about that?
Which one's that?
And the guy just tooted there? Like,
No.
Oh.
What? Was he working there?
So I sent a bunch of the giveaways out this week, and a bunch of sticker orders went out. Yeah, the guy worked there. And he was just typing away, and all of a sudden, like nothing, like I don't know. I'm confused. Hopefully he's not watching, because I told him about the show. I just lets the old and says,
brave.
excuse me, but doesn't, like, I'm checking for like blush.
Oh, I thought you were checking for smear.
After no, he didn't. He didn't flinch. He didn't even skip a beat. Just blip, 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 blip. Excuse me. So apparently that's normal. COVID doesn't come from the toots. And Tim's scaring me. Says he can't hear his audio. Okay, so we got a big package coming from Shore and some more giveaways, and we got giveaways tonight. I haven't even decided. I think what happens is when Tim gets into this next fly, I will go into the tickle trunk from Rocky Mountain Fly Shop and pull out something for the giveaway. And then as soon as he shows his fly and I show you what we're going to give away, I'm going to try and load the film about Chaz, because it is grab some Kleenex, and you're going to need it, because this story, if you've heard the podcast, it is now the visuals of this story. So yeah, it wasn't a COVID test. I didn't smell anything because I had a mask on. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and he did crop dust me. So
Nice. At least he didn't give you a cup of soup.
so yeah, so cup of love is what they used to
love.
call it. Cup of love.
There's nothing loving about that.
RockyMountainFlyShop.net. Free shipping all night until midnight in Canada.
That's actually crazy if you think about it, because really, you go in there, you order your Fly Kia table.
You order a Fly Kia table, that thing gets shipped to you for free
That's
in
nuts.
Canada.
That's like a 30% off right there.
That's a good price. But then you might as well just load up, because I think they just got Dairichi, they got Rep Your Water.
Well, they got a ton of these.
What else do they got,
the
Tim?
shore-
What else? What are you tying on? Shore products,
Yeah,
scissors,
the Shore products. like-
bobbins, Norvices.
well, and something they got great from Shore is they've got these.
Do you want to be on camera?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, let's put you in there.
They got
with me.
these kits, these like prep. They're already prepared for you, and these kits you just basically. It's like, this is a kit for a midge, let's say. Boom. They give you enough materials to bang out a bunch of midges, and it's,
Yeah.
you don't have. It's similar to what we've provided in our kits, is that maybe you don't want to go out and you don't know if you like midges or want to fish them or want to tie them, but it's a very inexpensive way to just purchase something and try them, and maybe you never go back. But if you do, then you can also head back and buy more material. So very
Yeah.
cool.
Super cool. RockyMountainFlyShop.net. Tim, you're tying this fly?
What's that now?
What are you doing here? Like, I'm so
tying.
confused. So what we'll do is we'll throw this on you,
All right.
and I'm not sure what you're doing. Oh, you're doing the dubbing on it.
Yeah, I just did the dubbing. I'm almost done this fly, so don't worry about it.
And
I'll
then
just-
after this, we're gonna see if we can show the film.
yeah.
The film.
So what you can see here, guys, is basically all this is created is a little bit different profile on it. It's a little bit more bulk to the body, which is probably neither good nor bad. It doesn't really matter. But if you have black thread, it really solves the problem. You really don't need to take the extra step of putting dubbing on.
Yes, we do need to get Rocky Mountain Fly Shop into the shipping to the U.S. because a big portion of you people, family, are Americanos.
Yes.
I know they are. They're just working. It's
Shipping these days is not as easy as you think it is.
yeah.
Well,
There's
we were talking about this earlier. It's just-
exporting
it's
is
nuts.
kind of what is the bigger deal. Is the exportation of products is so yeah. Tim's over here, and
You don't see that every day.
you sure don't.
You sure don't. One quick cut and we're done.
Benoit's like, the wife just woke up out of bed after she heard the air horn. So in case she went back to sleep, Mrs. Farsi, wake up.
Wake up. It's time to follow along. And there you go, guys. That is, as you can see in comparison, right? So you can look at that one there. You can see a little bit of extra bulk versus
Yeah,
what this one's
once
just going to
it's
look
wet,
like.
it's like, they're not bulky flies.
They're not bulky, but you can get away with it with just black thread more than it's totally fine. There you have it. That's your Manhattan Midge.
Yes.
A great one to add to your box. Have a dozen or so in there. A couple sizes.
Okay, so how am I gonna do this, folks? The magic of my job is to probably come in here. We're not gonna lose you. We're just gonna put the commercials and they're gonna pause. You guys.
We'll see what we can pull in here.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna run Fly Fishing Saves Lives intro, and then I think I can add it to that. So it'll cut off halfway through, but hold tight. We're not going anywhere. We're just trying to get this film for you guys, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna tie what, Tim?
We are going to tie the Zoo Cougar.
Why don't you show the folks what it is? Because
Kelly Gallup's Zoo Cougar. I
Yeah.
gotta change my jaws.
see if he remembers how. There, look, he's almost got it. Yeah, such a great little
Great little fly. You're gonna enjoy the time this one.
Bait fish. So we'll come back and we'll tie that. I'm going to go into the tickle trunk while the film's playing, and what we're going to do is it's smaller, extra small killer caddies. I'm not sure what the question was, but okay, let's do this. We're going to get the show playing right in the middle of this. Tell me a story. Something we've all said or heard in our lives.
The reason I love the fly fishing community so much is because of how welcoming they are. And they're excited about this hobby or this, activity as much as you are. They're obsessed as much as you are. It's really cool that the community is just so open and loving and sharing and, knowledge, everything. It's just an amazing group to be a part of. The story begins with, we had a child, August 26, 2006. We were both excited. It's our first child, Carolyn and I. We brought this child home, and then we started realizing he cries a lot. There's a lot of sleepless nights, and there's no milestones. So we started to really question, what's going on. We asked his pediatrician several times, hey, listen, Nolan's crying a lot, and he's not sleeping. He's not, doing his small milestone. He's not even smiling. He's just crying and sleeping. Dr. Harris, Nolan's pediatrician, was looking over Nolan maybe for, I swear it felt like a minute, and then he's like, I'll be right back, and he left the room. So Carol and I sat there and looked at each other like, what's going on? We're like, oh, here we go again. Another doctor is gonna tell us, we're just being, over cautious parents.
5 months we went to the doctor, and they admitted him that day, and he was diagnosed with West syndrome, infantile spasms. He was in and out of the hospital for the first 4 years of his life. Didn't know he would make it a few times. We couldn't get his seizures to stop. He'd have 100 to 200, sometimes 300 seizures a day.
This one particular night, Nolan was very sick. It was very scary. There's lots of tubes, lots of wires, everything sticking out of him. He couldn't breathe on his own. Like it was, excuse me. And this nurse comes in. There's alarms going off. Like nobody else came into the room, just this one nurse. And I sat there with the suction. I'm trying to suction in and out and trying to help this child breathe. He's struggling. There's lots of pain. You can see the wincing on his face. And she's like, no, Nolan's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. And she reached across the bed. She reached across the bed and put her hand on mine, and she said, he's gonna be okay because there's hope. You have hope, and in hope, he will be loved and he will love. And you guys are amazing parents. I chose that moment on that he's gonna live a normal life as much as possible.
Finding out he had West syndrome, it was a relief to finally understand what was happening to him so that we could help him. But there's no treatment, there's no given cure. Children have a really shortened lifespan, and there's no way to help them. They just give them medication to help with the seizures and the pain, and they send you on your way. And so we didn't take that as an answer, and we kept looking for treatments. Then me and Chas sat down and we said, you know what, we can't keep protecting Nolan from the world. It's not fair to him to be stuck at home all the time. So Chas, of course, has been fishing for a long time, since he was young. I wanted something that we could do as a family. And I found Nolan loved being on the boat and Chas loved fly fishing. And so I decided to start fly fishing, and I actually really enjoy it.
So when you have a child with special needs, you get hit in the face of mandatory thinking outside the box. That's one of the things that I loved about the challenge of special needs kid is you got to figure out how to get them from A to B. You got to figure out how to do activities, you know, and for us, for Nolan, he's in a wheelchair. All of a sudden you need a wheelchair accessible van. Now you need a wheelchair accessible house. So when Nolan was younger, we rented a pontoon boat. Thought it was pretty cool because the wheelchair could get on and off, and Nolan seemed to really enjoy the water. There's something about the presence of, you know, that element of water that he just calms down. We were like, wow, this is really nice, but you know, pontoon boats are fairly expensive, so that's not going to be something that we're going to invest in at this time. Enter Explorer Industries.
That was a very interesting conversation. That was a conversation that started actually last year in 2019. And Chaz came in and approached us about a special needs son, and that it would require some work to get his son in the boat, and that's why he wanted the boat. His son needed to come with him. They came back past fall, and they sat down again and kind of balanced out what they were thinking, and some of it had to do with budget, some of it had to do with, do we really need to be so extravagant? And then this past spring, they came in. We kind of finalized that we wanted to start off with something simple. We wanted to get them out there this year.
After a year of going back and forth with the team at Explorer Industries, we decided to pull the trigger.
And then from there, we kind of went step by step to make something that would accommodate Nolan, his wheelchair, his family. And then we started tossing ideas around how to get Nolan inside the boat and secure him so that he is safe and enjoying when he's out there with his family.
This boat is special because it's engineered around Nolan's chair. It's got the tie downs, it's got the slip grip, it's got the reinforced floor, it's super wide. There's just a bunch of accessibility stuff that just the world opened up for Nolan when we got this boat.
There's no such thing as a wheelchair accessible boat until we built it. I'm sure there's others out there, but you have to have parents that are willing to go and build the boat for your child. Everybody was just amazed by the boat, and they would come by and say hi and say that's the coolest thing they've ever seen. The boat's a way to bring the world to Nolan. I have relief that he's finally has something that he can interact with people with, and they can get to learn who Nolan is, and he can react in a situation and communicate with people that wouldn't have got to see that in a school setting or at home, because he lightens up, his eyes are just, he loves being outside. He's a completely different boy.
It puts a really big smile on my face that there's families like this out there. For us to be able to build something from scratch to accommodate all that in a fairly simplistic, cost-effective way was very meaningful for everyone here at our shop.
Everything we do, it takes time to get Nolan ready to go do an activity. And the pre-planning, for me, is the fun part with Nolan. We love sitting down, going through our fly box, making sure we were topped up on certain flies that we know, what type of fish we're fishing. We talk about, you know, what's gonna be if it gets windy. We talk about the day, we get like pumped up for the experience.
Find something that your family can do together that you all enjoy. It sure changed our life to find something that we could relate to each other.
I've been fishing my whole life. and it's been a very therapeutic activity for me to do in the outdoor. I just like being outside, and I find that Nolan really likes being outside as well. He loves hanging out with Dad, whatever Dad's doing, if we're blacksmithing in the garage, or if we're on the boat fishing, or if we're on the riverbank or a bank somewhere fishing. That's what he really likes, just being outside.
When I find something that Nolan really enjoys, I'm proud of him. He doesn't get too many gold stars and things he gets to go and do that are for him. So to have something that's just for him that he enjoys and everybody gets to congratulate him on a good job, it's makes me proud of how far he's come.
The scariest thing about having a child like Nolan is the unknown. What's next? What's the next battle? What's the next fight? When's the next hospital visit? What's the next virus you may or may not get? What's next? My message to families with similar children: you learn quickly in the special needs world, not every child is the same. If it was that easy, boy oh boy. But my message is, find activities that the children love to do. Get out there, go and see. Get out there, try fishing, try boating, try it. If other families have a kid in a wheelchair and they don't know how to get on a boat, call me, I'll take you out. I'll take you out on the boat. I don't care. It won't cost you a thing. If you want to go and try it, if you want to get in on an activity that your child may love, go and do. Don't be held back. Think outside the box. Do as much as possible. Do everything.
Well, if that doesn't gloss the eyes over, I don't know what does. Chaz, you know, man, we love you. We're here for you. We support you in any way we can. But your story has, you know, it's got a lot of legs, man. Like you're a dad that matters, and what you do for your child.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Yeah, I know
like that, man.
Since that came out last Sunday. I mean, I remember sitting down here just watching and just like. And
I watched it alone too, and I was happy because I was like, oh.
And I gotta, you know, share the podcast with you and hear the story for the first time, and then when you get to see the visuals, and literally my favorite part is when you reach back and you always pat Nolan on the chest and the big smile that he gets when you get to see him in the boat and stuff, like just understanding the magic of water and fishing, whether it's fly fishing, ice fishing. It's just it's like we feel it, and even in the intrinsic mindset of us, the complex mindset, not a lot of people understand it. But for Nolan, it's like he can't not show it with a smile and a.
You can't fake his reaction. It's real.
No.
As real as it gets. It's unbelievable.
Such a great story.
Yeah. So Chaz, thank you for putting that together. I know that was a big commitment and a lot of work, and I know you guys had tried to get in with IF4. And sometimes when your film or your story gets rejected from a film fest, it hurts because you just want to share the story. You just want to share Nolan's story. But trust me, Chaz, this story is gonna gain wings, and it's gonna spread like wildfire. And you know, sometimes it's probably better that it didn't go in a film fest. And I think the ability for it, you know, us to share it here. If you guys go on Facebook, there's a Facebook group that is called Dads. I believe it's Dads Who Matter. Somebody wrote it up here. Chaz, Dads That Matter, I believe is what it's called. So go in there, follow that page. That's where Chaz shared it. So you guys can go in there and share it with people. And like I know Chaz would say, it's not about him, it's about Nolan, and it's about sharing Nolan's story. And I think it quoted saying something like every kid deserves to go fishing. And think about that. Write it on your fridge and think about it when you're feeling tired, work's a little overwhelming, and your kid just wants to go spend time on the water. And it's like super awesome. So Chaz, thanks to you and your family. Give Nolan a pat on the chest for us. It's dads who matter. Yeah. Cool. All right, folks. Well, I know what Chaz would want us to do, and that is make you chug a beer. And
That's true.
yes. And then we'll get back to
Get on to the next
bingo. Ty,
Oh, yeah.
where are we at here, folks? I grabbed some giveaways. Let's get started on this fly. We'll get to a safe place that before we get into the deer hair with the deer stacker.
The deer stacker.
And then I'll get my poop in a group here. We got caught up watching that, which is awesome. We'll get on the Zoo Cougar. We'll get started, and we'll take a pause halfway through that. You pull out your bingo cards. If you didn't get a bingo card, the link is somewhere in the comments. I don't know where. Maybe I'll find my phone and jump back and put it in again. I threw it in the YouTube comments. Go get a bingo card before we call out bingo. I don't think I have that scene set up with all the bingo numbers rolling in. So it might be a little archaic today, but it's still going to be bingo, and I'll let you guys know what we're giving away. And Tim?
Yeah.
It is
the
you.
Zoo Cougar time.
There's nothing
Cougar
in there.
We may have to adjust this slightly. I'll put a fly in so Dana can do that. We'll talk a little bit.
I'm now wired in, so I can't quite move as quick.
It is fun to watch him try to get up attached to the table. So we're gonna tie the Zoo Cougar tonight. Now this is a Kelly Gallup fly. Actually, is a fairly simple fly to tie. And what's nice about it is we get to the deer hair head very quickly. And I know there's anxiety around deer hair and tying deer hair and understanding how we spin deer hair. This is a very entry-level fly to do it in. Not only do we get to spin deer hair, but we get to put a collar on. We're gonna put a collar on the fly, and we're gonna keep it up on top. There's just a few things that are pretty neat about this fly. If you've never fished one, this isn't a size 4 long shank streamer hook is what we're gonna use for this fly. The original pattern, as we're gonna tie it tonight, is tied without any weight in it. So normally we're gonna be fishing this with some type of sink tip, and even still it's gonna fish fairly high in the water column. But it moves water, it darts, it dives. It's got a little flash because of the the diamond braid that we put underneath it. So there's a lot of thought that Kelly Gallup's put into this fly and how he's designed it. He's if you know anything about streamers, Kelly Gallup is obviously a household name when it comes to it. He knows what he is talking about and how he's designed his flies. So let's get this rolling. So as we spoke before about the deer hair, be patient.
Which thread are you using?
I'm gonna start with a UTC 140, and this is gonna be in just a brown, black, olive, whatever. Olive would probably be best to tie on the initial material. When I go to spin the deer hair, guys, as you know, I like to go over to a heavier thread. I don't want to break my thread. That's annoying. So I'm gonna go to a GSP, which I'll show you here. GSP. This thread is.
Nobody wants to see you chug a beer because we're only at 80 shares. So
Oof.
hey, well,
Thanks,
safe,
thanks,
good
guys.
for you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. This is the UTC GSP 200. This comes in a few different thickness. The 240 is what I would use for pike flies, and 200 is what I really like for spinning deer hair. It still has tons of strength. It's not going to probably break on you, and easy to work with. So that's what I'm going to go to once I get up to the head. But initially, I'm not going to use that size. Okay. So let's go ahead and get that out of the vise. Again, I hate to have to do a little plug here, but I've switched over to my large Magnum sized.
I know it's been a while.
So if I were to put this other vise up here, this is
That's,
comparison. This is my my standard
Jaws, not vise.
standard jaw, and that's my Magnum. So it's just this one is by Norvice designed for bigger hooks. You can go up to a very, very large saltwater hook in this.
Oh, Doug Lindsay,
Holds it down.
he didn't blow up the fly. He blew up his bag.
Blew up his bag. Okay. So this is what I was getting to here, guys. We got to be real careful. So again, we understand this is a work in process as far as these kits are concerned. The deer hair is not an easy material to work with. It's not an easy material to pack. And it's really difficult to judge amounts. So if you don't have enough to do 2 full flies, we apologize. I would recommend you not split it in half. Tie the first fly with as much as it takes to do it. If you don't have enough to do the second fly, hopefully you've got some other deer hair. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to show you how we can vary the color slightly. So I'm going to tie with the same olive colored deer hair that you have, but I'm going to make my collar out of a different color just to show you what a little bit of change in deer hair can actually do without any difficulty.
What hook? What size? So it's a streamer hook, size 4, 3XL, 4XL.
This is a 4XL. Yeah, 4XL streamer hook, and this is a size 4. Is what we're gonna be tying on. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab my thread here that I'm gonna start with, and I'm using a brown thread for this one. No particular reason. It could be brown, olive, black. It's not really gonna matter. We're not gonna see this thread.
All right, looks like you're at a safe place to go to bingo. No, I'm just kidding.
Bingo, bingo.
You've got the hook in the vise, and folks, that's a wrap tonight. It is a thread wrapped hook.
So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a good thread base down into my hook. I'm basically just trying to get a general coverage of my hook shank here. It's not really going to matter. We're going to cover up most of all of this. And I'm going to try to leave my thread right about at the barb on the hook. Now, I would appreciate, as well as I'm sure the fish would, is when we're done this, that you go ahead and knock that barb off the hook. Especially with streamers, there is a tendency of hooking them sometimes too deep or sometimes up by their eyes. So it's nice to have an easy release on these fish, okay? So what I'm going to start with, the first material is going to be some olive colored marabou. So I'm going to go ahead here and grab some marabou. This is just a marabou plume. It looks like it was all together there because I had wet it. So grab some liquid or give it a lick, whatever you feel like doing. I'm going to
lick it.
To judge my size here, I'm going to put some moisture on it.
Why is so offside everything fly tying is?
Especially Kelly Gallup. I mean, he's named his flies the most offside things of most of all fly tyers.
Do you have a preference in the down eye versus the straight eye?
This pattern calls for a down eye. I'm not totally sure why. To be honest, I don't exactly wrap my head around the big differences between them.
Probably just a touch of pulling down a bit.
The theory is that there is on a downturned eye that when you've tied your tippet on or however you've tied this, it is going to first drive the fly down. So how we're shaping the head on this fly, in theory, that's what it's going to do, and hopefully it does, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this out so it's basically a full hook shank in length, okay? Once I've gathered that roughly there, I'm going to transfer that back to where I left it at the barb, okay? And that's where I'm going to tie myself in here. So I'm going to take a nice loose gathering wrap, take a second, third to start to bind it down, okay? Now, what I do want to do is I want to actually use this material, this leftover marabou up front. I'm going to use that to create a little bit of bulk on the hook shank itself. So I'm going to open wrap over top of it. So you can see I'm kind of grabbing with my other hand just to make sure it stays up on top of the hook. And I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to leave about a third of the hook shank in length bare because that's where the head is going to start. Okay, and we don't want to overcrowd that or put down any material up there. So I'm going to come in there with my fancy short scissors, which I'm not just plugging these. These actually scissors are probably my new favorite scissors to use. Very sharp and very
and there's a bunch more coming our way.
Yeah. We're excited, guys, because we do have a big shipment coming from shore that they're adding to the Dickle Trunk, and we're going to be able to give away some of these awesome products if you haven't purchased some so that you can try them. These are the carbide scissors, which are extremely sharp, and I'm really enjoying going with.
Mike says I always accidentally crowd the eye, and that is probably one of the biggest. I'm not gonna say it's are you empty?
I'm empty. Would you mind?
I'm answering a question. Okay, how about we do this?
I'm giving him
I'm
some.
gonna answer this question here, and then you
now
can
you're
climb
being lazy.
behind.
I was giving you hand signals. Get me
So-
a beer.
Crowding the eye is I'm not gonna say it's it's probably more on the mistake side, but that's just over time you're gonna really learn how to portion your wraps so that when you do get towards the eye, that you're not just hammering up the thread on the eye. And I'm just killing time here.
It really is. It's really pre-planning.
The knot preference to attach streamers. That's a great question. If you go on our YouTube channel, which to win the next prize you're gonna have to be subscribed to our YouTube channel, but the non-slip loop knot, and I have a demonstration on there on our YouTube channel. It is probably the knot that I tie on everything. And fight me if you don't agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there we are. Marabou's on.
Marabou's on.
And Tim has a fresh beer, folks. So if you want to crank out and get kicked out of every group you've ever, that's probably because you guys are sharing it in like your. We did say share it on your grandma's page.
Yeah, we did. I mean,
but
maybe
you can't share it on your grandma's knitting sock page or something like that, or crochet page.
Yeah, the quilting page is.
This is adult crafts, but.
That is true.
A non-slip mono loop. Floral loop. I don't know. I just call it a non-slip loop. I don't add the word mono. Maybe it. Not sure if there's a difference. Trout, let me know.
And there is the non-slip loop knot. There is more than one way to tie it. I tie it differently than Dana does. That's what I'm comfortable with.
Yes.
And
but it's not right.
Basically, what matters is you have a loop attached so that you have extra motion that's allowed to happen because of it. So that's
fight me, Tim.
I'll fight you. I'll win.
We should have a fight cam.
I weigh at least as much as
just
your left
like
leg.
4 jugs of baby oil. And we just fight. Well, you can't grab on each other.
Well,
It's
people are
weird.
definitely gonna believe we meet on Grindr if you bring baby oil into this.
Give me a break.
You don't see that every
day. Okay, tie the fly.
Okay. Anyways, let's tie this fly. Crowding the head. How do we avoid that?
Tim does have a DD tonight, folks.
I do.
Ben, you absolutely. It was my Sex Anonymous group, Blake says.
Oh man. How we avoid the problem of crowding the head. And this is honestly the truth of the matter is plan ahead. It sounds silly, but over plan with error towards a sign of over planning. So we stay away from that head, especially when we're going to do an extra head at the top like we were with this one with deer hair. Because once you crowd the head, it's just a bummer because then you end up trying to whip finish or half hitching with all the material right up in the eye, and it's no fun at all.
Ken's got a couple pair of sets of boxing gloves. Ken, you're down in Turner Valley. You got to be into the Far Beer and Westwood Restaurant donuts. If you guys haven't tried Black Diamond, this is a totally organic plug. And if they want to sponsor me with 5 dozen donuts a week, I'm in. Ken, you've been there. Tell me you've been there.
I haven't been there. Have you? You have obviously, but I have not.
I'm going back. Russ told me he's on a diet, and then he just writes in there he ordered 2 boxes of donuts to pick up on Saturday. So I'm gonna head in and see Russ and get some.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Tie the fly.
Tie the fly. Next material we're gonna tie in here, guys, is we provide you with some diamond braid. You could use a flat diamond braid, or this one isn't a flat one. It's kind of circular, oval in shape. It's fine. What we're doing is we're creating a flash underbody. We're gonna use this in crystal color, okay? So I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna tie it in right back where I left off with my marabou tying in. I'm gonna advance my thread forward up to this spot here where I've left the marabou. I'm gonna do my half hitch. Just an overhand knot is all that is, just to save my work. I'm gonna get my bobbin out of the way. Not necessary to do that. It's just that I tie, because we're tying on the Norbice, it's the easiest way to get your thread out of the way. And then I'm gonna just use my rotary function. If you don't have a rotary function in your vise, it's fine. You just overhand wrap this. We're gonna cover up all that under marabou, but what we've done is we've created a little extra bulk there by laying that down on there, and it allows that diamond braid to adhere to it a little easier. Once I get up to where I left my marabou off,
Are you drinking Riverfest?
I am, yeah.
You could thank Craig Jones for that.
Craig Jones.
He stopped by as a thank you gift for speaking in his classroom and brought a 6-pack of Riverfest.
Oh, man, thank you, Craig.
And he knows the way to my heart. He didn't bring me a donut, though, but I did see him at the donut store in Black Diamond.
Did you really?
Yep,
Oh,
sure did.
Man.
Tie the fly.
We got to get a voiceover that says that.
Yeah.
Just
tie the fly.
Just tie the fly. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Craig. If anybody appreciates this beer more than me, I will fight you for it because I love it.
It's getting aggressive here, folks.
I know.
Why did we get so aggressive?
Maybe we could start a little fight club in the garage. I feel like
we should.
We'll do it at a distance, obviously, but
yeah,
you know,
6 feet.
Air swing, and maybe I'll get a broomstick, beat you with it.
Bonus fly. Tim chugs a beer and ties up that drunken disorderly. That was last season.
Man.
We don't have that this year, but we might add it in as a bonus episode.
We should. That was a good fly. I survived it too. Okay,
tie the fly.
Tie the fly. I'm gonna come back just a little bit with some thread here. I want to come back onto that diamond braid just a hair. I'm gonna leave my thread there. The next material we're gonna go in here, guys, is we have either calf body hair or calf tail, depending on the size of the streamer that you're tying. The smaller it is, we'll go to calf tail. When it's a little larger, we're gonna stick with our calf body hair. So what I have here is just that.
Just hang on, we gotta welcome David Blackmon's in the house, folks.
David Blackmon.
Yep, it's because every time I join his live stream, he gives me a shout out, and because usually I make a funny, sarcastic joke towards him, and as he stares in the lens and makes batty catty eyes at me, I can do the same for him. So
nice.
Welcome, David.
Welcome,
Appreciate
buddy.
you tuning in. Back to tying the fly.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
You don't see that every day.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. You really don't.
Did nobody even mention Rosina came back? I put her back in the
you put her-
intro.
and she didn't crash the show.
No, she is a gem.
She's a gem. So guys, what we're doing here is we're gonna take that calf body hair because we're tying a little bit larger size. Now, the reasoning for this material is simply to prop up the mallard flank that we're gonna put on over top of this. So you don't even necessarily have to use the specific material, but what we're looking for is a hair that's quite hollow, so it's gonna splay up a bit and it's gonna hold that other material up. So I'm gonna extend this slightly out into the tail. I'm not gonna worry about cutting it or trimming it off currently. I'm just gonna tie it in.
When do we drink the Red Bull and Tricks?
I just want to eat the tricks, so as soon as you could open that, that would be much appreciated.
Well, I'm gonna get it ready, Tim, because you're gonna chug a beer. I'm gonna eat the Red Bull and Tricks.
Yeah.
And
So
chug a beer.
I'm just trying to tie the fly. Okay?
I know.
give
I'm
me-
just having too much fun,
just
folks.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Dang. So this, like I said, this calf body hair is meant to basically just prop up the mallard flanker I'm going to tie in next. So I'm going to get rid of the butts of that. I'm going to put some thread wraps down over top of it.
Yeah, there's questions about the Norvice March Madness. Chaz got on to round 2.
Yes,
and
he did,
Tim
and
didn't.
I did not.
So
Congratulations, Chaz, and I hope I will be voting for Chaz through the
the
competition.
entire thing.
I hope you take it all, buddy.
Hope you guys do too.
So next material I'm going to stick in here is I'm going to put my mallard flank. So what does a mallard flank look like? Well, that's it right there, folks. The reason we're using it is because this feather not only has a nice curve to it, it's going to create a little bit of an illusion of bulk without actually doing it, which is kind of how he designed this fly. And it's got all the barring and markings on top of it. That
I needed to add more sound effects because they're getting old.
That are consistent with other flies, okay, or other bait fish, sorry. So because of all those markings, it just looks, it looks like could be like a brown trout bait fish pattern, or it
if
could
you're
be
catching the brown trout, day, you gotta
it-
use a different
is
fly.
it brown trout?
Because the brown trout aren't eating, but the brown trout are.
So what I do is I like to come in and I actually like to kind of take the feather and bend it up. I try to get some of that because it's already got an angle. It's already got a natural curve to it. I'm just gonna run my fingers down and try to take a little bit of that out. And then again, that's what this hair is for, to hold it up, okay? So when I lay this back, I want that mallard flank to extend almost all the way to the back of that marabou, but not quite. So what I'm going to do in that is I'm going to make sure that I've stripped just enough materials off so that when I lay it down, where I tie it in, it's going to extend almost to the rear end of the fly. Now the other important part about this mallard flank, if I turn this to you, is that I keep it centered on the top of the hook. Okay, so if I let it turn down to the side, it's obviously not going to give the same appearance in the water that it would if it was right on top. So that's what the fish is going to see from on top, and then from the side, it's going to sit up and give us that profile of being larger than life. Okay, so I'm going to first off, I'm going to push this down here. I'm going to tie it in right on that bump that I left. Make sure that's good and secure. And when I like, you're gonna probably be like, well, that's crushed right down. I agree, it is, but I like to go back in, and I'm gonna prop it up with that hair. I'm gonna bend it back over itself, and then I bring it back down.
I'm making the sound effects. I am the sound effects.
Ooh, nice. Delicious.
Howdy, partner.
That would just not fit in there, but okay.
Do we just have more fun with ourselves?
Yeah, we do, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Is anybody still watching?
Yeah, I don't know. The show crashed an hour ago.
That's fine. Okay, so all I did is I trimmed out the butt of that, guys. So now, as you can see, that's what the fish sees from the top. So I've got a nice wide back on this fly. From here, when this is moving in the water, that's going to slide down. It's going to give the appearance of a profile without actually having all the bulk and the weight of water holding in those materials, because mallard flank is going to shed it quite quickly. Okay, now let's get on to the fun part. Okay, so what you're going to have in your kit is a whole bunch of olive colored deer hair. And this is deer body hair.
Are we gonna hold the hair? Like you just got head left?
Yep, just head. Just head.
Okay.
This is a safe spot. Let's stop here.
This is a safe place. I think everybody's got to this point, and it looks like an Atlantic salmon fly.
Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah, so David says he knows nothing about tying flies, but this has me captivated. Well, David, also I know what will captivate you. That is these eyes. And David, did you get your bingo card? The link, I will send it to you because I want you to play, because
yes, you could win something.
No, I gotta change the camera off of me onto Tim, and Tim's gonna tell you a joke.
What? So this is what he does to me. He decides that I have a joke to tell without ever preparing me to have a joke to tell. So we sit here and awkwardly talk about the fact that I don't have a joke to tell, and then we're gonna go back to Dana once he's ready to play bingo. It seems like this is what happens every time. But
I'm almost ready to play bingo. I just had to send David his opportunity to get in on.
What we do need, though, is Elaine Lee, also known as Doug. You're going to have a joke for us. You better be in here. I hope you are. So if you've got your joke for the week, this is Elaine Lee's joke segment. So hit us up.
This is Doug's joke. Doug's bad joke. So what we need to do...
Yeah.
Is it clear, free and clear? It's free and clear, folks. And if you weren't hungry before, I need you to look inside of this. Is it melting, or is that just me?
I don't know. It's looking better and better.
That, my friends, is a stiff whipped cream and strawberry bottom underneath croissant with hardened chocolate drizzle. And if that's not fresh, I don't know what is.
We gotta work on your descriptive. Your descriptive comments are not so good.
Yeah, so
look at that bun.
Must always Tim Doug. Okay, we gotta make a scene for Doug's jokes. But that's the baking cam, folks, and if you're not hungry, you will be now. And Trout Maharishi just caught the diabetes.
Nice.
So the YouTube channel is Fly Fishing Bow River Outfitters. Look it up on the YouTube, and make sure you're subscribed, because we post a lot of things like the Fly Fishing Academy. This show also goes up there. What else do we do on the YouTube? Promos, videos, short films, a lot of really cool things, all based around fishing. And David, that is Stiffy Whip something. Okay. That leads to COVID. Wife and Corey's wife does love the croissant. If you were at the after party a few weeks ago, folks, you would have got the back end of that story. One day
we will tell the story one day.
One day we'll have a show that is a $10 buy-in, and it is private.
It's also Dana's OnlyFans account, and that's how you'll
Yes,
get
that's
it.
a different one. That's where I'm running around in a leopard bikini.
Yes.
Okay, bingo, folks, because then we got to get back to this fly. We've got 24 minutes left in the show, plus overtime, so 3.5 hours left.
Plus overtime.
Okay, let's see if I can get this in here. Oh, yeah. That is the bingo sound coming at you, and I had fancy graphics flying in before, but this time I don't. So what I need to do is to see which... hold tight, folks. We're just trying to get this call, so get out your bingo cards. And if you didn't get one, it's probably going to be a little bit... it's going to be a little late. So
Just being honest, it's probably.
I think this is the one I want. Then I'm going to go like this, and I want to go over here. Just hang on. I don't want you to show you this before it's too late. Hit the bingo cards. Jump into here. Call the game. Sequence number 5. And what are you winning? Well, tonight, folks, you don't even know. That's what the best part
man.
is.
No, that's not good. There's something in his hand.
A lot
there.
of stuff here, okay?
We see that stuff. What's in there?
From Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. We got a High Mountain Streams Flies.
That is.
Okay, I'm giving all this in one package. We've also got a little yellow Selly hatch box, and this
And that.
Dr.
Dang.
Should I not? I should.
think you should.
I think people have been fantastic tonight, so I'm just gonna throw all this in. You know what I'm also gonna do, folks? Because you guys are awesome.
I bet there's some stickers involved
I'm
here.
gonna throw in a sticker, and then we're gonna throw in some stickers from our friends at Drift Out West Fly Fishing, and we're gonna make this package epic. Because if I'm paying $80 to ship it out, we might as well
We
load
might
it
as
up.
well make it worthwhile.
Okay, so let me put this in here. Okay. Call sequence number 5. Start the game, and the first call, you need all 4 corners. I believe everybody's in here. Stickers. Just wait till I print what I just designed. If you're a Norvise guy, this will be a lifesaver. Sven loves his 3D printer. We're done bingo. I fill up this cup full of Lucky Charms, tricks, whatever they are, and toss some Red Bull in it and give it a drink. The next call is the Dave's Hopper. The Dave's Hopper. So we're looking for 4 corners. If you've never played bingo before, there was a link in the comments. You could download a bingo game. 25 names of flies. We're looking for all 4 corners. The next one is the Rusty Spinner. So if you're getting close, you might be 4 for 4, which has not been done before. But hey, this is Thursday Night Live, episode 10, halfway through season 3. A lot of new things can happen tonight because the stimulator is happening here. Sometimes I just have to turn down the ambient music. So if stickers, Bruce is probably gonna win. So there's a lot of stuff. This is like $150 worth of flies and toolkits, plus stickers. So yeah, this is a great, fantastic kit. And if you win it, I suggest you go online and buy some stickers, and then we can throw them in and ship it all out at the same time. We've called 4. 0 for 4. David Blackmon is 0 for 3. The Bow River Bugger, made famous from a friend of ours named Barry White. He took the traditional bugger fly and added what we're going to add here tonight is the deer hair, and call it a Bow River Bugger. The next call, 0 for 4. What is it worth? It's kind of like my next day on the river, and it is a skunk. Semi-seal leech, folks. Semi-seal leech is up next. So there we go. And when you win, you gotta send me in your bingo card. If I win, I will definitely start fly. Well, looks like we got a winner. Next call is the Midge. The Midge. I know your comments come in a little later, and it's delayed. Our stream is also delayed. So does 2 delays make an undelay?
An undelay. Undelay.
Yes, need more stickers for the beer fridge. So if you win, I will gladly ship this out. I highly recommend that you order all the stickers for sale on the website, and I have more coming I had Copper John. The Copper John is next. And if you're thirsty, now is a good time to get a drink. Yes, the bingo, folks. 3 of 4, Ben Armstrong. Ben Armstrong. The Brassy. I have to turn down Tim's mic. He's whistling in. Oh, yeah. And if we get to 200 shares, folks, we might even only need 103 shares. Come on, Clink Hammer.
No, we agreed.
I couldn't hit water if I fell out of a boat. Yes. Kung Fu Crab, which we tied 2 weeks ago. The Kung Fu Crab also made the opener to the film tonight. Film, it's not a film, it's a live stream. Okay, folks, come on. Somebody win this. We got some deer hair to explode. We've only got 19 minutes and then 3 hours of extra time. It's like soccer. Don't they do that? At the end of the game, it's like...
No, I think they just flail around and...
No, but they do. They have like extra time. Okay, Clink Hammer. Who needed the clink? Who needed the clink? I think we got a winner.
How has someone not won yet?
I don't know.
This is crazy. There's 11 calls up there.
Jeff had a dishwasher fire, and now I'm back up. So, it's a good question. I've never had fire in my dishwasher. Bingo! Mark Den Beeson. Okay, Mark, tell us what your bingo card ID is, and we will throw it in here.
Let's see if you're lying or not.
Yes, we need to verify you.
You must be
Ben
verified.
needs lube. We cannot help you with that, Ben. On air. But order some stickers and I'll throw in a pack of KY because I can. Card number 36036. Verifying card number 36. And that's all 4 corners, folks. We have ourselves a fantastic winner on Thursday Night Live, Season 3, Episode 10, Update This Card. And if you and your business want to sponsor the show, you can sponsor these business cards for a cost of...
Something.
Send us an email. Okay. Okay, David, 0 for 11. Okay, okay, Mark, email, send us an email, info@flyfishandbowriver.com. And if you want to go online and order some of the stickers that we have, feel free. This is my favorite right now.
This one right here.
Yeah, Tim's got it on his Yeti, but...
It's no Sven sticker, but it is...
Yeah, go order some stickers, and we'll throw them all in together there, Mark. Card number 36 is the winner tonight, folks.
Awesome.
We're probably going to give away a shirt, too, later.
I think we should.
Where are they?
It's right there. What is that?
This is Doc Rock unpackaging stuff.
Oh, yeah, nice.
That is a Fly Fishing Bow River Outfitters sun shirt, the highest quality since the cable box. Something. I don't know. Okay, we do have one more giveaway at the end of the show, folks, and for that, you need to stay put. And let's let Tim. First of all, let's check out this. Yeah, slide ourselves slowly back up to Tim Hepworth. We're gonna eat that.
I'm gonna eat that.
I'm gonna eat that like it owes me money. Okay.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't even know where we're at. I had 2 of these tall beers.
I know. Me too. Well, I've had one, but
You've
I've
had
had 2
one.
of the Riverfest.
You're gonna take down a Riverfest real quick here.
man.
I know it. Okay, folks.
Well,
it's back to the Fly Time show that
Jen
we
Lee said
all
she'd drive me
came here
home, so-
for.
Okay, guys. So this is what you've all been waiting for. It is the deer hair head of the Zoo Cougar.
David, you didn't win. You did not miraculously come back from an 0-11 deficit.
Oh man. So David's from your live group from the program,
yeah.
right? Yeah. What's up, David? Nice to.
Super awesome, dude.
Great to
The
see
group
you
of
on here.
people.
Is he the what beer? Also beard-ish guy?
No, he's. Can you not see him here?
It's hard to see.
Yeah.
Well, anyways.
I'll show him after.
Thanks for
He
tuning in,
sends
man.
me pictures. We're at that level.
Snapchats.
Yeah.
No big deal.
They disappear, but I screenshot them.
They're here, but they're gone. So, guys, in your packages, if you're tying along with us, we have a whole bunch of olive hair. Now, like we said before, we appreciate your feedback because we're also learning. But what we're learning is after packaging and me tying out of these packages as well, we know that probably the best way to package this deer hair isn't how we've done it. We're gonna work on improving that in the future. And amounts are also difficult because it's hard to judge. So if you've only got enough for one fly, what I suggest is you do the correct amount of stacks that I'm gonna do on this head. Don't worry so much about the amount you have. If you don't have enough for another fly, worry about that at a later time, maybe grabbing some of your own or you have some extra. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna tie just the collar in a different color just to show you kind of the diversity that you can do very simply by just adding one other color of deer hair into this fly. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of dark kind of brown for the collar itself. But go ahead, we're gonna just use the olive color that you have to build the collar to start this this head off. So what you're gonna need to do this is you're gonna need a deer. A deer
Oh
stacker.
yeah, see,
It's hard.
I'm not a dum dum.
Yeah, once you screw it up, it's hard.
Yeah.
So I'm using this. Oh man, I'm dropping it.
Somebody call this guy a cab.
That's good. I got one coming. So
Jen tied the fly. That's his shirt we got to get made.
yeah, Jen tied the
Tie the fly.
So we've got a couple of different deer hair stackers here from Shore. There's two different sizes. I want to grab if you've got a larger one, that's often better for tying with this stuff because the smaller ones are more maybe for like caddis or stacking some calf tail or something much smaller. We're gonna grab the larger one that you have. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do the collar just out of brown, but you go ahead and grab that olive and that's what we're gonna work with. We're looking for about a pencil width thickness for this, for the initial collar that we're gonna tie with, and then we're gonna do, most likely, we're gonna do two full bundles that we're gonna tie in again to create the rest of the head.
Tie the fly, they love it. I gotta make that a sound effect.
It's good, I like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a fairly good chunk of this brown here while you go ahead and grab some of that olive that you have. Now, we're trying to
I think that's where I fell short.
What's that?
Was not enough for the collar.
Yeah, the collar is the tough part because you gotta. What we're gonna do after this is right now you can see in this collar I've got tips on this deer hair. And
we
again,
did not change threads. Well, we changed threads since the midge, but
we're going to change threads here in just a moment. So stay tuned for that part. But what I'm going to talk about is the tips of this first. So when we're tying a collar in, we need to have the tips of the deer hair. That's what we're going to use to create the collar. As we move forward into the next couple pieces, we can trim the tips off the deer hair. We don't have to, but it makes it easier when you're actually going ahead and trimming the head. So what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm going to take this that I have here. I'm going to grab it by the tips, and what it's going to mean is there's going to be some under fur that's going to be in here. You can pull it out. You can use a little comb if you like. With deer hair, it's not bad. I can get most of it out with just my fingers. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stack this in my deer hair stacker. Deer hair stacker.
I told you it's so awkward.
Well, it's only bad because you've said it once
Is that your
now.
first
And
time
I
with
can't.
that monitor's not in right?
No, I know. Keep slipping out.
Pull the back down.
Is the back off?
It's supposed to wrap.
Oh yeah.
It's supposed to wrap around. It's not better. I would come over there and touch you, but I can't do that safely.
No. So I'm just gonna stack this up. Give it a couple of taps. The louder, the better.
Hey, look who's in the house. Bob showed up.
Bob, what's up, brother? Said he was hanging out with his girls today. That's awesome. Okay, so I've stacked that hair. I'm gonna set that aside for a moment. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here and I'm going to, you could either whip finish or half hitch. This is what I was talking about, guys. I'm gonna switch over to that heavier thread because it's a lot easier to work with this deer hair because I can put much more tension on with a heavier thread. And as I said before, I'm using that GSP 200. Now the 200 is my favorite for deer hair on trout streamers. I go larger, I go with a 250 or even a 300 for pike flies, but for this I prefer the 200, okay? Because we're not doing so much crazy stuff like bucktail at this point. I'm gonna come up onto there and I'm going to trim out my tag. And with something I also like to do when it comes to the collar, because I want the collar to set and stay in the position that I put it in, I'm gonna go in here with just a little bit of Sally Hansen, hard as nails. Can get this stuff by the gallon. Super awesome stuff to use. I'm just gonna put a dab right on top of that bump there that I've left, where I'm gonna tie in my initial collar, okay? So now I've stacked this. I always want to, as we've talked in the past, I want to remove the bottom of the stacker. Obviously, how we stack it, that has the tips of the deer hair. So I want it to come, I want to pull that off in the direction that I want the collar to be. So the collar is going to naturally face rearward. So I want to pull it off in that direction. I'm going to come in with my fingers and grab it and keep it stacked. I can go out and pull out any extras. Now I can tell right here that I've got, this bundle is going to be too big. It's more than I need. So I'm going to pull out a little bit of that deer hair. And if in doing that process, you make the tips so they're not aligned anymore, then just go ahead. Like I just did, I pulled and it pulled some of those out. I'm just going to go ahead and stack it one more time. It can be a little bit of a game.
Would moose hair or elk body hair work?
To be honest, guys, not really. When it comes to a collar, you could probably get away with some elk rump or something. But what we're looking for is we want a flare. So to get flare out of any of hair, it has to be more hollow. So like elk rump does work quite well. Most of the time we're looking for deer body hair. Deer body hair is more hollow. We're gonna get it to, it's gonna flare really nice. We can stack, we can push it, we can work with it. We want it to be quite hollow. That just means that it floats, which is essentially what Kelly Gallup designed out of this fly, is that if we fish it with a sink tip, it's gonna dive with the sink tip and float back up, dive and float back up. So we want it to be floatable. Therefore, we're working with deer body hair, okay? So I've stacked that again just to make sure.
When do I get to eat my my tricks and Red Bull?
As soon as I get to eat that croissant. So hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully soon. So I'm gonna pull that out one more time, guys. Now, and this is an interesting discussion, because some people say, hey, tie that in like so, we'll leave the butt ends and we'll use those to come in the next, as we stack down the fly. Kelly Gallup's original design is to actually trim this to the length that you want the collar. Then we add the following stacks of deer hair afterwards. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. So when I measure this, I want it to go about halfway down the diamond braid.
I should check on the chug shares.
No, I think we're good. Let's just keep rolling on this fly. And
We
we'll
could also
come back
get
to
those
that.
shirts made. That's a
Chug it, Tim.
Share for a chug.
Share for a chug.
Make Tim chug.
I'm a sipper, not a chugger. So I'm gonna measure this collar to come down about halfway down that diamond braid is where I wanna leave it. Now, when I switch hands here and I grab it with the hand that's not gonna have the bobbin in it, I'm gonna pinch, okay? And I'm gonna measure, okay, so I can get my measurement to cut. So I know that I want it to be right about there. I'm gonna switch hands again just to bring it up off of there. And I'm gonna actually cut that right there. Okay, so I'm gonna come in, and once I've got that measurement, and I haven't taken it out of that hand. I'm gonna leave it in the hand with just the butts exposed. I'm gonna set it right back on that bump. Okay, and now I'm gonna take a clockwise spin, counterclockwise if you're right-handed. It's gonna cause that to jump rearward and gather those, and I'm gonna put one. On the second one, I'm gonna pull hard. Third one, pull harder. And now what you can see, I've pinched it with my fingers here so that I haven't let it rotate around the hook, because I want this to stay on top. If we have any of the collar on the bottom side of the fly, I'm gonna actually remove it, because that's not where I want it to be. The collar is gonna stay on top of the fly, okay? I can take a couple more thread wraps through the butts. I can let go, okay? So you can see I've got that nice collar, and it hasn't really gone around the bottom at all. It did a little bit on this side, which I can adjust or I can trim out later. But what I want it to do is to stay up on top of the hook, okay? Now from here, we're just gonna add our stacks on top of this, okay? So I'm going to take a couple of thread wraps, pull tight. Now I'm gonna go back to that olive that we have been working with, and I'm going to grab a good hefty, about pencil width thick clump. And if you choose to, you can stack it again. I'm gonna stack it just so I have the tips even, which I'm actually going to trim out, but I'm going to gain as much use of the butts as possible. So I'm gonna toss a good chunk of that in there, stack it. Now it doesn't really matter which way the tips go, because I'm gonna trim them out anyways, but I'll pull them out. Pull out any of that underfluff. I've got these here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and trim off just the tips. And the reason I'm trimming them, guys, and a lot of you would probably is like wondering why do that? Why not just leave them in there and you can just trim them out after? But the initial hair stack that you do right after the collar, you don't want to have any confusion of the tips. So if tips look similar, if I was to have stayed with all of the whole way through, when I'm shaving this with my razor blade next, I want to know that I'm not going to be up in the business of this collar because I want the collar to remain, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically split the deer hair in half, okay? Now, I know that this is a nerve-wracking thing for a lot of people, deer hair and spinning. What's the right number of wraps? How do I let go when I should let go? Trust me on this one, guys. I'm going to take you through this easily. What I want to do is one loose wrap. Okay, that one is just a given. That's just there. I'm not doing much with it. The next one I take over, I'm going to put some tension on. You can see a little bit of flare start. Okay, now on the next one, I'm going to take one more wrap and I'm going to allow that to start to turn. You can see I'm going to let go with my top fingers and let it start turning. I'm going to take a fourth wrap as it turns and pull tight. You saw that spin. Total of 4 wraps, spun all the way around the hook. That means I've got an even amount of hair on both the top and the bottom. Okay, that's our first one. Okay, so what I like to do is I left it here somewhere. This is actually from a acrylics material I took the tube from. You can take a pen that you take apart, anything that's got a little hollow section here is what we're going to use. We're not really stacking deer hair here, but we are wanting to push back a little bit so that we can pull our thread. I can get all those butts headed to the rear, and I can pull my thread forward through them, and I can put some wraps in front of it. Okay. Now, normally on this fly, we get about 3 stacks of deer hair, depending. We don't need it to be super, super, super tight deer hair, because the tighter the deer hair, the more it floats, because we've got more deer hair on the hook shank.
What kind of witchery is that?
Witchery?
I think it just means you're magic.
Oh, well, not magic, guys. It's just deer hair, and I'm excited because next season, my desire is to next season take you through an actual deer hair fly, where all we do is spin deer hair and make it look kind of cool.
Like a green bomber.
Yeah, totally. Something that's kind of different and fun, but we want to give you some basis to work from. So
wait a minute.
What's up?
You told everyone you got that tube from the acrylics material.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think you got it from your beer.
What?
Huh.
Is this what it's for? Right here?
Yeah, I think do it. Drink it, chug it. Oh, if you chugged a whole beer to straw, you would be so bloated. You would be more floatable than this fly.
He's gotta blow out the extras.
Yes, you do. Yes. Yes, you do.
Golf ball through a garden hose.
That was the comments last week when you came live trying to get your thread
through the bobbin.
Your bobbin.
So what we use this hollow tool for, guys, is just that. We're gonna push the materials back. I'm not really trying to force them and stack them super hard, but then I can gather them in my fingers and I can get some thread wraps in front of it. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna
see that every day.
Sometimes you do.
You do. We gotta give her a name.
Yeah, we do. So what I'm gonna do?
Just wait. There's some conversation about hare, elk, deer. We'll get into that because there's definitely some controversy and some good thoughts about elk hair.
Yep.
And the statement is elk hair more hollow. It is. There's also what we have to understand is like where you get the elk hair. Mm-hmm. Is it a male, a female, a young elk? Where the deer comes from, because they all grow their hair different in their climates. So yes, great conversation, Ryan. Appreciate that comment. Yeah. And Doug says the deer is wider with thinner walls. Again, another never-ending question, but a good conversation.
Mm-hmm. So guys, really all of that we're talking about tonight is we're trying to stick to a pretty close recipe to Kelly Galb's recipe. That's what it comes down to. We're going to tell you what he's used and why he's used it. There are lots of substitutes and materials. And I am a big advocate of elk hair. I like elk hair for a lot of things. Like you think of an elk hair caddis, that hair that you use for an elk hair caddis is very, very hollow. It flares very nice to create that fly.
Thick.
So there's a lot of different hair. But in general, if you're tying a deer hair head, we'll say you're looking for deer body hair or deer belly hair. Those are the two that are going to flare the nicest. They're going to be the most hollow. Okay, so that's what we're kind of taking you through tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab another good, basically pencil width thickness.
Jen Lyle loved that.
She like that?
Yeah, she's like, I can handle pencil thick something.
Pencil thick? I'm sure that she can. She's probably had to deal with that for many years.
Probably
How long she been married?
It's probably 4 times her husband.
So again, I'm going to avoid that comment and
You should
continue
take
on
your
this
shirt
line.
off for her. You'll make her day.
I promise you, Jen Lyle, one day this year,
Yeah,
in one of these seasons, you will get the shirt off.
Seasons.
What is
Now,
episodes.
now that is keeping her in tuned until next year.
That's right. So I've only stacked, guys, so I can try to clean out this under junk, and I'm gonna trim those tips one more time. So when I trim the tips, I'm just taking, like I said, just the very tips out of it. So I'm gonna come in here, trim those off, semi-square. Now I'm gonna repeat the process I did the last time. I'm gonna kind of just lean this in at almost a 45 against all that other hair. So I come in like this, about halfway in the overall length.
Look at, wait, let's get that GoFundMe page.
Let's just take a look here,
You know
guys.
what? If somebody orders 100 stickers, I think that would pay for your fingers.
Yeah, so right here, we've got, this is the rough abrasion caused by
look at that.
the chewing of the nails.
You know what, folks? I think we ruined your appetite, so just
and-
let me bring it back. Oh, yeah,
that was
because
good
that was
timing.
okay. There we go.
Wow, okay. So I just want you to know how hard I worked on these for you guys tonight to make fun of.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. I watched a scary movie, and this is what you get.
Oh.
So
Which Disney movie?
oh man, too funny. So one wrap over top, I take a little bit of tension, not much. Second wrap, a little bit more tension. I start to allow my fingers to come off of it. It's gonna start to spin on the third, I pull tight. Fourth, tighter.
Fascinating.
Just like so. Okay guys, it's honestly, deer hair spinning when it comes to a single color and a head like this, it's not overcomplicated. Just have a little bit of confidence in knowing that what you're doing is gonna work. I don't like to do more than 4 wraps. It's 1, 2 is loose, 3 is stronger, 4th is the tightest, okay? Now I'm gonna grab my tube one more time just to push it back out of the way so I can get my thread through and onto it. Now I'm not gonna add an extra stack here. I like this. I do have a little bit of room behind the eye if I were to push this back, and that's fine. I'm not gonna crowd this eye because what we do know is if I were to add another one in there, I'm going to be overcrowded. So let's just add some thread wraps here. Now you can either, I'm gonna show you what I like to do is even use my tube to do a half hitch. So I'm gonna wrap twice around my tube and come in. So all I've done is place my tube on my thread, go around it once, go around it twice, place it over the eye, and I'll use my finger here to coax it down to the end. And as it comes off,
It's probably the only thing your finger's
tight.
coaxing right now.
that is the truth. I don't really know what you're referring to, but I will continue on with what I'm doing.
The come hither.
So 1, 2, I'm gonna do it a second time and that'll be it. Use my fingers to get that off the edge and pull tight. And again, with that strong thread, I can pull really hard and I know it's not gonna go
I would give
anywhere.
$5 to see a picture of Cam's fly right now.
He's still tying it with 7/0 mono. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here and trim out my thread. Not gonna worry about any type of resin or glue it this time because I'm gonna come in here and trim it. I don't want that hair to get stuck in it, okay? So, this is basically our fly, but now I gotta come in
Basically.
here and trim and do some work on it.
Didn't need me to. You know what? Now that we're at this stage, we gotta say thanks to our sponsors one more
I
time.
agree, that's a great idea.
And that will give you a chance to get ready for the final countdown.
Final
Okay,
countdown.
1 minute, folks. We'll come back and we're gonna
Da-da-da-da.
blow up this fly like
Da-da-da-da.
Die Hard.
We'll do
That
it.
didn't make sense,
No,
so
it
might as well
didn't.
just
That's
cut.
great rotary vices on the market, but only the Norvise spins the hook. It's for this reason that it's been said the Norvise is the most innovative fly tying system on the market.
We all deserve the right to stay organized, no matter what or where your space is. Your Flykia table will turn any space into a well-organized fly tying realm. Own your domain.
Okay, we're live. We're back. We're back. Get your ears in, Timothy.
Domain.
Own your domain. Okay, folks, we're about to coax, cajole, and which movie's that off of?
Oh, I know. That's
a
the
quote.
9-foot rod.
That is 9-foot rod, folks. We are waiting to see if that thing is ever going to be released.
Back into our hands.
We do not know. We do not know. We sold ourselves. Okay. How many have blown up? So what we're going to do is we are going to give away
Ooh, a sun shirt.
one of our awesome sun shirts.
Amazing.
And when will these be for sale is the question. So what we're going to do, and I've just been going back and forth with emails today. Basically what we're trying to do, folks, is make sure that our production line is good to go so that when we do order it, we don't have any hiccups like that. I do suggest to one up your size. If you're a medium, you wear a large. Tim is a small. He wears an extra small. So, and the number is not 333. But I will write a number down while Tim gets together with him and his razor blades and does what he can do best.
Yeah.
With that head full of deer hair.
So guys, what I like to do is I order all my razor blades off of Amazon. These ones is, I'm not going to try to pronounce that as, well, I'm going to try actually. As there's lots of different ones you can get off Amazon. But what I like to do is I like to take the package of them as they come out and I break them in half. And it leaves me with half of a razor blade. It just seems to be a little safer because there's less chance of me getting in the way. Yes, you could do this strictly with scissors. You're not going to get the precision that you can with a razor blade, but if you do have scissors, basically follow along with what we're doing and try to mimic the best you can.
Your numbers don't count right now. It's just everyone. It's probably everyone who's blown up their fly.
Yeah.
I want the shirt.
So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to cut just the bottom edge of the fly, and then Dana's going to go ahead and we're going to start our comments and try to win this shirt, okay? So hang tight on your numbers. I'm going to cut the bottoms, and then we're going to go ahead and try to win that, and then we'll come back and trim the rest of the fly.
Doug,
so,
you gotta award Doug with his tenacity. He started around 320, and he's working his way down to zero.
Nice. So the first cut I'm going to do on this fly, Kelly Gallup has done this very flat. So you want to get as close as you can to that eye without getting too close to your thread. I'm going to come in and basically I'm going to use one hand just here so you can see. I'm going to cut this bottom section flat. Now if I've done my job right, so I'm going to grab my fancy Shore weights basket here, and I'm going to set it underneath my fly because I love to not keep all this hair on top of my desk. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently work my razor blade back. There should be no collar on the bottom here if I tied it in properly. So I'm just going to flatten this out the best that I can.
Bruce Cameron, he said so Peter's milkshakes are a local thing up here.
Yeah.
And he said his fly looks like it's trying to drink a Peter's milkshake. Too much trimming the face. You know, like you're just sucking so hard to get. Yeah.
You're working hard.
That's funny.
So I have trimmed that flat on the bottom, and that's where I'm going to leave you guys, and we're going to go ahead and start guessing some numbers. But you need to know what our numbers are going to be between, and tonight we are going to go between
1 and 600.
Whew, that's a big amount
well,
there.
just because Doug's picked every number between 295 and 3,000. Okay, folks, between 1 and, what did I say?
600.
1 and 600, you will get yourself one of the rare, if it's in your size. If it's not in your size, there's nothing I can do besides Stretch it. I might throw it over the hood of my truck tomorrow if you need more. Okay, I'm trying to keep up with the comments. Oh my goodness. 1 in 600, folks. 1 in 600. Okay, I'm just doing my best here. 1 in 600. 1 in 600.
What do we got here?
Tim, you keep shaving and I'll keep craving.
Oh.
It didn't rhyme. It didn't make sense.
It did rhyme, but it didn't make sense.
Didn't make sense. Hey. And officially, the comment box is broke.
Broken.
Okay.
What do we got here?
I don't know how I'm going to do this because I cannot see any of the comments. I cannot see if anybody wrote in the right.
So, guys, you have as many guesses as you would like.
Yes.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. We'll let you
My
know.
fly looks like Duck Dynasty.
Not sure what that means.
Ben doesn't want the winning. He just wants to tell us that his... Okay, I'm trying to keep up with these comments here, but I might have bit off more than I can chew, folks. That's not true. Tim, you keep talking and I'll keep checking the numbers.
Okay, we are looking for a number between 1 and 600. Like we said, you can guess as many times as you want. And I would recommend that you keep guessing because what you're winning is worth it. So you've got your...
if we could show the back of it. You could probably properly open it.
Yeah, I'll open this up just so you can see it because it's worth taking a look at.
Is that the end of your fly? Is it a mouse?
No. So guys, this shirt, I mean, we're obviously a little biased because we like products that are made for us, and this is actually brought to us by one of our Thursday Night Live followers, also a great friend and client, Dave Spencer. He provided these for us, so we're super thankful for that. You can see there, we got our awesome logo up front. If I flip it around to the back, you've got Barry, our other logo, which is also probably my favorite one. And yeah, that's your shirt. So in my opinion, because I have been testing and wearing a ton of sun shirts over the last few years, this one I think is gonna check all the boxes. So hopefully you're gonna be able to win this one with a number between 1 and 600. Okay?
I can't even find the comments here. Oh, I shouldn't have said 600 because this is turning into
that
a
was
trainer.
that was a large gap in numbers. 1 in 600.
Yes. No, 333 is not the winner. 444, 598, 52.
So many comments. Keep them coming, guys, because that's the only way you're gonna win is to keep on guessing.
Chaz guessed 600. No. 396. No. Let me see.
So they're always, you know, with these sun shirts, and I'm not gonna say that we are experts in the sun shirt department, but what we do know is we love to wear a hooded sun shirt, and we also like it to feel like you're pretty much cold even when you're in the hottest temperatures possible. You might be sweating, whatever, but this is gonna wick moisture away. So these sun shirts are pretty much in our opinion, the perfect ideal thing here.
Abort the mission.
What?
I can't. The comment box froze, and I'm like, gonna have to figure this out. Whether you're on YouTube or Facebook or whatever you want to be on, folks.
You picked a number that was too high.
The number is here. I can't.
Keep it coming, guys. Keep on guessing. We want to give this shirt away. What do we have here?
I know. I'm like, I can't keep track. So many numbers came in. 356. No.
We should have stuck to bingo.
And yes, bingo was obviously much more clear. But remember, it is the first comment that shows up in our feed. And I am looking for it.
We like to give some chances to other people who didn't have the bingo card. So
yes,
we will see.
But in the future, it will be bingo only. And the future is next week.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. Tell me where it is. Yeah, so we are trying to give away a shirt, folks.
And how is that going?
And I know the number, I just cannot see if somebody is winning this or not.
Somebody better hurry up and win this so I can finish this fly.
And check it. We get both YouTube and Facebook. The comments come to the same platform for us. And oh, there is a YouTube comment from, you got to be kidding me,
From who?
Jordan Saldana.
Oh,
That's not even fair.
Jordan Jones.
One of our own with the number. I'll
What
pin
was
it.
the number?
I'll pin it in the. Well, why are we on your fly?
Well, I don't know.
You show the number. 365 coming in on the
Oh, that's
YouTube
super
channel.
rad. It's like it's invisible. This is a trick.
Well, you got to tilt it forward.
Oh,
Yeah, the
there it
exposure
is.
thing.
There, 365.
365. We got to
Jordan.
check with the rules if that's even allowed.
Well, I mean, we did just say 1 to 600, so.
Yeah, and I can't even keep up with this. Okay, folks. That's the way it goes sometimes. 360.
Jones.
Sean Allison also picked 365, but I think that was after we announced it. So, and Ben, and everyone's picking
Now
365.
everybody's got 365.
Look at this. I thought I was switching the camera to us, and there it is.
There it is.
So 365 is the winner. We will double check. Jordan, text us, send us an email, whatever. You obviously know how to get a hold of us.
We'll get
And
you
we
shared.
will send that out to you. But remember, when you give us your size, let's go up a size because that's how these 365.5. Christopher Martinson.
Up in the game.
I don't know if these comments are coming in like way after
Yeah.
after all this stuff, but yes. Okay, Tim.
Yes.
Finish your fly.
Okay, let's do it.
And then we got to talk about our wins for the week.
Yeah.
And it's
can wrap it up.
9:17.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. Okay, guys, so let's wrap up this fly. So all I've done is I've cut a flat bottom on this, as you can see. Now, what we want to do is we want to cut a nice dome shape to the front of this fly. And another reason I've tied in my collar in brown, just so that you can see. I want you to see that I'm going to push my cutting back to the collar without removing the collar. That's the key here. We don't want to cut out our collar, and I'm not going to say that I won't screw this up and do it, but we want to be as careful as possible. So with our razor blade, it's flat, but I can come in here and I can, by putting some tension on it, I can get a nice dome shape that you can see there, right? So that dome shape is I can create the shape that I want when I come in here to shave. So I'm gonna come in just ahead of that eye, or just above that eye. I'm gonna push it back and try to create that little bit of a dome cut, okay? And now as I go, I'm gonna clear some of that out of there. Push it back. Keep pushing until I reach my collar, okay? Now the collar is, again, the area that we've used that has the tips, and I've emphasized this with the brown so that we can actually see it. A little easier for you guys if you did it all in olive. You just want to push that back until it rits there. Now, if you can see on my edges, they look a little uneven now. So I want to create that same shape to the edges. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to little presses. Not trying to do a whole lot at once. We can come in here with scissors after and really kind of perfect what we want. But all I'm looking for is a bit of a dome shape on the sides and a bit of a dome shape up top. Basically what you're seeing there. That actually turned out
What can
way
you
better
use
than
without a
expected.
razor blade? It's really tough because you need it to be super
Basically, you
sharp
can do
and-
the exact same thing with scissors, but it's just not going to look as good. And that's just a simple fact. You're not going to be able to get the precision cut that I've done with something that's super sharp like a razor blade, but you can do it with scissors, okay? So like at this point, I'm pretty much happy with what I have here initially, and I can come in here now with my scissors, and I'm going to trim the edges just to make sure that everything looks pretty round. And I kind of have the shape that I want. I don't want to leave any of these butts that are, like you're going to be able to see what a butt looks like versus the collar itself. It's going to be something that's very abrupt versus this. I like how that blended. Sometimes we get lucky, folks, and that appears to be what I did tonight.
And then a really cool tool is your cauterizer.
Yes, which I'm going to use here shortly. So again, guys, we got no sponsorship from these people, so don't take this as a shameless plug. This is just a plug because I really enjoy this tool. Everything from, cauterizing your wounds at home to cauterizing your
Yes,
fly.
poking yourself, and after you've used the razor blade, there might be some cauterization necessary.
You can remove your skin tags. as well as-
Necessita. Yes, you can.
So all I like to do here with this, guys, I like to come in here and do a little bit of precision work. So as you can see on my cautery tool, I have that white little thumb, almost like a thumb hold. So I'm gonna brace myself off the vise with my hand. I come in here, I press my button. You're gonna see this get real hot. I come in here, I can almost shape it, okay? Just by using that.
Ooh,
I get rid of anything I don't want. I can shape this corner because that's not quite the shape I wanted.
Ooh.
This isn't an expensive tool, guys. I think I paid $30 for it.
Yeah,
It's nothing crazy.
Flymart.ca.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rocky Mountain Fly Shop carries these, but they will soon.
And that's
Tim,
it,
you
guys.
can use them on your nails, Blake said.
Yeah, hey, look at this. So this, guys, this is the shape we want, okay? There's nothing crazy going on here. We got our collar, we got a bit of a dome head. What that collar is gonna provide, it's gonna provide a lot of water movement. It's gonna come over the head and hit that collar, and it's gonna cause dives and darts and different movements in the water. Again, we're gonna fish this on a sink tip line. I got a couple of hairs underneath here that I'm gonna clean out just because
This is an aesthetics thing if you're trying to win a Norvise competition
Yeah.
with a good looking fly and a good photo.
which isn't possible, but we'll
But
move on
hey,
from
if
that.
you did.
So, yes. So this is our Zoo Cougar, guys. It's a very good entry level streamer on a single hook, no articulation, that we get to learn how to tie in a deer hair head. I'm hoping that went smoothly for you. If it didn't, the key is tie it 5 more times, and you will see a large change in how your tying technique goes, and hopefully you end up with something that looks something like that.
Yeah, probably the most sculpin like
Yeah, totally. Like
fly. That big like bull head on him like
Yep.
that. And I smell, not sure if I'm having a seizure or a stroke, but I
Yeah.
smell burning hair. I can't
hair.
identify it as deer hair, but
it's hair indeed.
it's burning.
That is true.
Yeah, so that is, fun fact, you can create your own cauterizing tool using a car battery and a coat rack. So if that's something that you want to do, send us photos. I would love to see that.
I would love to see how that turns
And
out.
how you hold on to that coat rack. Do you mean coat hanger? Yes, he corrected himself. So yeah, that is the Zoo Cougar, a very effective streamer pattern.
Yep, I like it. I like it a lot.
The cautery tool is from...
Hairline is where I bought this one from.
Yeah? Is
Yep.
that what the brand is?
Yep, Hairline.
So I got mine at Flymart.
There's I think there's a couple different companies. They're probably
It's the same
thing,
one, but yeah,
just
if
you're
it's,
getting it
yeah.
from different places.
So yeah, I know for sure, flymart.ca, that's where I got mine. Tim got his at Hairline. If you work at the hospital, feel free to grab one on your way home.
That is
And
also
speaking
true.
of hospitals, Mark Holcomb got called in to an emergency at the hospital right before the show.
Bummer.
So he said he wouldn't be here. But that is Thursday Night Live, folks, in a nutshell. A 2.5 hour nutshell. And all of you awesome people, you hung out with us for 2.5 fantastic hours, and we've given away some really cool stuff. Thanks to Rocky Mountain Fly Shop. Some stickers from us here at Fly Fishing Bow Outfitters. We're going to add some stickers from Drift Out West Fly Fishing into this package. And already received the email. And Doug McLean is still guessing on the shirt.
Still guessing numbers.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Looks like a hummingbird that very well could be.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Joe Manchinton. He's not going to let me get away without pouring myself. And I think this needs to go into the Dana-Cam.
Dana-Cam.
Tricks. So, what you got to do here, folks, is get your tricks box that's in your package. It's season 3, episode 10. And so open the cardboard part of it first, because if you don't, you can't get into the bag. And then, oh, that smells so good.
smell like?
And then, like heaven, like glorious, like cotton candy and all the best things in your life put
Okay,
into a cereal
well,
box.
Pull that in there, pour it in there, and hand it over.
You guys see this?
Oh.
Okay. So I reached 12 feet across the room to Timothy. And now what we need to do is, it's 9:30 at night our time. The show is winding down, but the party is not. So we're gonna oh,
Yeah,
that
this is pretty good. There is like
That
barely
didn't-
any sugar in this cereal.
I think they're sugar free.
Yeah, it's only 27 grams of glucids
Yeah.
per 1 cup.
Okay, Sven, just because you're a good dude and you did it first, I thought, hey, well, on Thursday Night Live, folks, probably just gonna see. The smell is not good. The smell quickly ended. Michael Hall, we appreciate you tuning in. You're on YouTube, and we would love to have you back next week. Same time, same place. It's not the same place. If you move, you can still watch it from wherever you are, but we'll be in the same place. Okay, just hold tight. Comments. Oh, this is not good, folks. The smell with the Red Bull. I don't even think I can do it because I'm probably gonna gag.
Pour some beer in there. How is that? Is it good?
Well, you heard it here, you heard it here, folks. Here, however they say that, and don't do that. Don't do that at home. Don't do Red Bulls. They're not good for you. Oh man, that was like the Red Bull stripped all of the flavor out of the. It tasted like ironic, but Flintstones vitamins.
Did it?
Oh, it did not. I'm going to have to wash this down with some Far. Oh, that's not good, folks. So what you need to do is not try that at home. And if you do try that at home, make sure you tag us in your photos that you post, because you need to post photos of stuff like that. And we need to get Tim back. Tim just crushing
the tricks.
One of them hit the microphone and it hurt my ears and it hurt everyone else. Okay, folks, before we go here in the next 3 hours, we need to talk about victories and wins and all that stuff. So what I wanted to do. Tim?
Yeah. That's
You
really good.
had a very difficult week. And I know some people were asking questions earlier.
Yeah. Difficult week for me. Yeah. We talked about it a little bit last week on the show. Yeah, we had to put down one of our dogs this week, and that was very difficult. But I guess 3 days ago now, and the biggest, what I'm gonna call my win this week is, you know when something's brought into your life for the right reason, and this was in my my life probably one of the hardest weeks that I've been involved in, and you guys, so many people from Thursday Night Live messaged me even before the show tonight, just saying we're with you, we're thinking about you, and we're gonna help you through this. And honestly, guys, there isn't words that I have for you guys that would describe how thankful I am for you. You didn't, pass this off as, oh, you lost the dog, whatever. You understand that our pain is real. We lost a family member this week, and it was, one of the toughest things that I've gone through in a long time. And I really can't thank you enough, because no matter what it is, we've had a lot, to be honest, we've had a very hard week, not even only for me, but it seems like for a lot of people, there's been a lot of struggles this week. And I think when we have a community like we do with you guys, to be able to come here and not only be here in the moment on Thursdays, but the rest of the week, the messages that you reach out to us with, and you know, it's so genuine. I can't say enough about you guys. Thank you. You know, Ren and Trish and I, we can't say thank you enough for the wonderful things that you guys have sent our way. We do feel loved. We feel like our community has been around us this week, and really nothing more than that would make this week easier. So for me, my week, this win is you guys, and I really feel blessed to know you and feel blessed to have you guys in my life, and I'm thankful. Really, that's what it comes down to for me this week. I can't say thank you enough for all of you and what you mean to me. You know, a lot of you I've never met, and I can't wait for the day that we can make that happen. And until that day, I cherish your words, I cherish your thanks, I cherish your everything you've said to me over this week. It means more than you know, so thank you.
Yes. Thank you, folks. I had a pretty good week myself. My win of the week, and I'm going to steal Cam's thunder, is, I don't know, Cam, you could type what you want here, but I know that there's a lot of stress going on with Cam, and we chatted every night. We called it the Devil's Playground, that we often woke up to in the middle of the night when all of your bad thoughts start racing in and they start giving you self-doubt, making you feel like you're not good enough, that you're not going to be successful, that things aren't going to be okay. And I know that Cam was going through a lot of stuff personal, with health issues, waiting to hear back on results on things. And that was weighing on my mind all week because Cam's one of my best friends. And my win today was before the show started, and Cam texted me and said that he got a 100% clean bill of health. And just to hear the relief in that message from Cam was such a victory for me this week, because just caring about people can sometimes be overwhelming, and just waiting to hear back on these results from Cam. So much so that I said to Cam, me and you are going fishing on Friday. It's going to be 10 degrees Celsius, which is 50 some degrees, which is more than beautiful enough to go fishing out here. And the second biggest win of the week is Thursday night again, because you guys stick around with us as we talk about dumb stuff, drink Red Bull and Tricks in a Yeti mug, and it's disgusting. Don't try it at home. We make fun of each other. You guys make fun of us. We make fun of you. And I just super appreciate you guys being here, having fun with us, trusting us for your Thursday night. And to Wyatt, the people that had birthdays tonight, happy birthday to all you guys. Feel free to share your wins down here in the comments, because your wins are our wins. Your wins are Tim's wins. I know Tim had a really tough day. The fact that he got a few hours off of work to go, you know, spend it with Trish and go through that necessary step. Yeah, putting your dog down. So we'll be here. We'll be here next Thursday for you guys, and we're here in between. Bruce Cameron, all your support and the gift that you gave someone this week by supporting us and trusting in us with that is super awesome, and we appreciate you. Everybody who reaches out and buys stickers and says kind words and stuff like that, that keeps me fired up, and that's my win. You're my win. Cam, I love you, man. Chaz, again, thanks for sharing their story. Thanks for letting us share your story. Thanks for being such a kick-ass dad. Inspiration for all of us when we sometimes think things are a little difficult or we got it hard. We don't have it hard, because you're our inspiration. And anybody here tonight that got to watch it, if you're in the area and you're close to Chaz and you want to take your kid fishing, I know that without a shadow of a doubt, he's 100% sincere about that. He will take you fishing. And I know Chaz has signed up for our guide school. I'm super excited for that. And Colin's in our guide school. And if you guys are interested in guide school, we're not going to go into a shameless plug here, but reach out to us, and we'll gladly talk to you more about that. And if you need just someone to talk to, shoot us a message. If you need a phone call, shoot us a message. We'll send you our phone numbers, because we're not just here on Thursdays. like Shay said at the start of the show, it's a family, and it couldn't be more true. So
That's the truth of it, guys. We're here for you, and I know you're there for us, and we felt that probably more in the last couple of weeks than ever. So thank you. I'm just flabbergasted, you know, sitting here reading everybody's wins for the last week. There's so much power in rejoicing in what we have, what we've been given, no matter what higher power you believe in or don't believe in. There's a lot of good in the world, and sometimes we need to focus on that because there's too much negative, and I'm so thankful for what our community has brought to us. And you know, I'm blessed to spend every Thursday with Dana and with you guys, and there is no place that I would rather be than here with you tonight.
100%. And Bruce Cole, your win was booking some float trips this year. You got a pretty special summer ahead of you because I know that there's a lot of time off to go fishing. And as always, getting to spend time with you and Morgan, and just, I know that the trust factor that you have in me and taking your daughter out on the water with you. Yes, that's the wins, folks. But we do have to end this with some humor. As Trout Maharishi said that he got to see his neighbor with big boobs cutting the grass shirtless, and that he wishes his wife would do the same. Wow.
Don't we all?
I can't tell you that anybody up here is cutting their grass right now, but what you need to know, folks, is that we love you, and I'm Dana Lattery.
And I'm Tim Hepworth.
And this is Thursday Night Live, and we'll see you next Thursday.
On